I'm Rezlar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have a bit of. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of shit today. First of all, I want to say, Nashi isn't joining us today. He is back from his trip, but unfortunately he is very sick. He is on his way to a doctor right now, actually. He said he might be able to join later, but who knows if that's going to happen or not. I guess it depends on how bad he's really feeling. So he probably won't be joining us today, unfortunately, but he should be back and good to go next week. Next, I want to thank our lovely patrons, Badriana, Infrax, Hawaiian, Auscultation, Icarian, Justicar, I Has Issues, Jeremy Johnson, Calhad, Lord Carrot, Maya Knight, Minari, Aponism, Slytech, and Talus X Septum. Thank you guys so much, and everybody else who supports us on Patreon. You guys are fucking awesome. Now, let's get into the Calpheon ball, because a lot of shit got announced. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the new class, which, Frosty, why don't you just tell me briefly what you think of the new class.
Alright, so new class is the Nova. I'm taking this from Chemo's YouTube because apparently he's the only one who put up a trailer. Maybe is there an official trailer link now? There probably is somewhere, but
I think there is, yeah.
Chemo had this trailer up like literally as it was happening, so he's got some inside info, you know. Anyway, so it's a tower shield class that's apparently being raised from the dead by a priestess or something. But
I don't think it's being raised from the dead. I think it's like she was
mummified
trapped or like confined.
Yeah, she was like Han Solo in Star Wars. Would you say that's fair?
Sure. No, I think it's more like the nine-tailed fox in Naruto. How he was sealed away, you know?
Or like Nine Tails in Pokemon?
Sure.
I feel like
I don't watch anime.
I feel like this person was mummified. Whatever the case, the Black Spirit was able to bring them back to life, alright? With the help of this woman.
Yeah, it was the woman that read the book. So.
Yeah, but she was following the little Black Spirit, you know?
Yeah, the Black Spirit led her to the book.
Right. Which is nice. Like, I wish the Black Spirit would help me get through some quests. But anyway, she uses a mace, an extendable, retractable mace, and a tower shield. And she's ice themed, which is kind of interesting. So during her big reveal, she pops up. She's got like a skeleton on her arm, like a skeleton shoulder pad. She's got a pretty sick looking mace, spiked mace, and a huge ass shield. And she's got some demons with her, or phalanx, or whatever. That's like Ronaros and something else. I don't know what the ones are with the hammer and the shield. But, dude, she kind of looks like Guardian, but with ice. And like pets. So overall, yeah. I'm kind of excited by her animations, except that they're probably very slow, is the only thing.
Well, they kind of looked a bit slow in the trailer.
Yeah, they look
in the
slow.
Combat trailer.
But one of the things that I find kind of interesting about this is outside of Wizard and Witch, I'm trying to think so I don't state this wrong, but there's not really a whole lot of classes outside of Wiz-Witch that have defined elements in their pre-awaken kit.
In their pre-awakening? No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Musa with wind.
Yeah, Musa and Mewa have wind, but they don't really go into the whole wind. Like, I don't know, they don't do that.
No, Musa does. Musa does a lot of stuff with wind. They have Rising Storm, they have Gale, they have Cyclone. They actually have quite a bit of like wind related stuff.
No, I know, but
Mewa not as much. Mewa, I don't think Mewa has all those skills.
But if you fight like a Mewa or a Musa pre-awakening, like you're not really gonna feel like, oh yeah, this guy controls the elements. Whereas this is like ice is like being generated all over the place and shit. Like everything is ice. That's all I mean. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me because I wonder if it's gonna stick with that theme because a lot of the awakenings kind of completely change directions, right? Like Guardian is like this rock whatever in pre-awakening, and then its awakening is magma or lava, whatever you want to call it. I mean, Mystic and Striker were just kind of fighting, and then they got water and fire. So I'm curious if they're going to change the element completely, or if it's just going to stick with ice for awakening. I hope it's ice. We don't have a lot of ice.
You know, what if you're right? Actually, what if that thing you said earlier was correct, and this actually is the awakening? Like they released the awakening first.
That would be kind of interesting.
It would be interesting. Maybe they did another Archer class. You know, they were like, fuck, we can't balance Succession worth of shit. Come out with another Awakening-only class.
Well, it is the first class, I think, since Archer that's like a global release, right?
Yes, that is correct, yeah.
And it's global everywhere. Like, I went and double-checked just to make sure, because I the next day I didn't even, like, believe it, but it's, like, actually coming on December 22nd to every platform on every server. Including consoles. And if you're not on console, they'll give you some Caphras stones. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the class overall? Like from just the little bit that we've seen.
As far as looks, it's just kind of reskinned Guardian. Even some animations are just literally Guardian animations. I think it wouldn't feel so bad if they spread it out a bit more from Guardian. Like, having there be only one class between the two strong, like, melee women classes, you know? It's kind of like, alright, now you're getting a little obsessed with this archetype that you're going for here. But I think the animations are pretty cool. I'm excited to see... I'm excited to get my hands on it. Is what I would say.
She looks like
I don't get hyped for things just because of what they look like, just like you do. I gotta get my hands on it and get a feel for it first.
Well, look, she has basically Guardians 4F and Warriors 4F. I guess the exact same thing. This animation where she like runs to the next pack. She even like, it looks like it has the same kind of slow wind up too. I don't know, man. I just hope it feels faster than Guardian, because Guardian... I mean, some people like the slower feel, the slower playstyle, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I don't know. I've never found it as interesting as other people do. But, I don't know.
Are you worried at all with it being ice-based that it's going to add more slows to the game?
I mean, it probably will. I don't know. I just kind of take that as a given at this point, that every class they release is going to have some stupid slow to it.
Yeah, one of the things that's... Well, it's weird. Like, Meiwa doesn't really have anything that... It doesn't really have any freezes. And it has a slow, but it wasn't like a staple of the kit. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about. I kind of hope they do. I was saying, I know this is super far-fetched, but it would be kind of cool if they did a customized like stiffen and stun animation where it's still just stiffen and stun, same rules and everything apply, but they just show it so it looks like you're frozen during those animations. Would be kind of cool. Won't happen, but would be kind of cool. So you don't care about the class until you actually play it. What do you think about the weapon?
The flail?
The extendable mace flail.
The mail.
The mail.
Yeah, the mail's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, the Morning Star. The thing is though, is like, is it like
Well, it's not a morning star because morning star doesn't extendo cuts like that.
Yeah, morning stars don't really extend, right?
Yeah, morning star is just a type of mace. This is more akin to a flail, but it's a flail that can like retract to become a mace. It's fucking weird. Unless I'm incorrect about the definition of morning star, but I'm pretty sure morning star is just a specific type of mace.
Yeah. I don't know. What about the shield?
Tower shield? I like tower shields. Tower shields are pretty dope.
If we're to assume that this is pre-awakening, which is the safest assumption, probably, do you think they're going to keep the tower shield for awakening?
Probably not.
See, that kind of sucks.
I'd be surprised.
Valk's the only awakening class with a shield.
Yeah. But even on Valk, like, their shield in Awakening is not their shield in Pre-Awakening.
No, it's not, but at least they have a shield.
It's like, yeah, because, like, their Pre-Awakening shield is like a tiny little thing that barely covers their arm, and it's really strange. And then her Awakening shield is, like, fucking huge. Fucking huge! Maybe the tower shield gets tiny. It's the inverse.
Yeah. Dude, I keep thinking about... Because your guess is that... I wish I didn't guess Bastard Sword in our bet. There's no way it's going to be a sword.
I think it could be a sword, but I don't know.
There's no way. But I don't know. Like, there is a real chance that they kind of go full on with the book / undead. Like, what if her awakening weapon was literally just called Book of the Dead? Would actually be kind of sick. Because she has like those skeletons, and there's something about undead that's like with her, right? Because it's like the skulls on her arms, and I don't know, the whole eerie nature, and it almost seems like she might be kind of an evil, like maybe she's a bad hero versus like the other ones that are kind of protagonists. I don't know.
Right. No, that could definitely... I mean, that's why I was guessing it, because I was thinking, like, there's two main things that made me think book. Like, because full disclosure, I saw someone in chat say maybe it's a book, and I started thinking about that, and I was like, that actually could make a lot of sense, because, first of all, the thing that people need to understand about this class is that this class is different from every other class in that... In terms of the lore, which I know people don't give a shit about, but it actually kind of matters here.
Yeah.
The Nova is one person. Every single Nova that every person makes is still just this one person. Your Nova is not a different person from another person's Nova. Like how two warriors are two different people, that's not the case with Nova. It's the same person. It's the same character. So that's the first thing you got to keep in mind. Yeah, that's something that they very specifically said, specific to this class. And then the other thing is that with this being kind of like a lore-heavy thing, and like with the tower shield being like the weapon that, like, the tower shield was what the spirit, I guess you could call it, was like confined to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she read out of the book, and it freed the spirit from the tower shield. My thought is like, well, it would make sense if the book was some sort of, like you said, like some sort of spell book from like her past or something, and like that could be her awakening weapon, just like the shield is her pre-awakening, you know?
Yeah.
That was kind of, the more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, this kind of would make sense if they went this direction. Now we're probably both wrong.
We're probably both wrong. Someone else presented a theory to me that I thought was kind of interesting, that they're most likely going to still use her shield in Awakening because the shield's what gives the Nova her power. Because you notice, like, it's not just that she is confined, but her shield is as well. Like,
well,
the
I think
shield...
she's confined in the shield.
Well, but the shield itself is also confined. Like, I don't know, the whole thing seems like that is the source of her power. If that makes any sense. So, like...
Yeah.
That's the main part of her, versus the actual mace is kind of like just, I don't know, thrown together a little bit.
But I mean, that could still work with your guess, though.
A sword.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever done a shield with a book? It would make the most sense if I'm a caster out there and I have a spell book. I would love to also be holding a shield, you know, just in case. Maybe we'll get really lucky, Rez, and it'll be a like a succession wizard, but with a super armor block. Maybe that's what the server really wants. We all want suck wizard with a super armor block. I have
a feeling it's going to be very similar to Guardian. It's going to be slow. It's going to be heavy. I have a feeling that's just what they're going to go for.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look like it's hard because the animations are kind of fast during this, but all of the mobs are or all of the things that she spawns are BDO mobs. So there's she spawns Ronaros mobs, 2 Ronaros. She also spawns what looks like Gyphon Raja mobs. I'm wondering if that theme will also stay with her for Awakening. These mobs that spawn or whatever during some of the animations. It's actually kind of it's a ton of animations for a pre-awaken kit. They got the mob spawning and there's ice. I don't know, it's kind of interesting because seriously, most of the pre-awakenings are really bland, and then they try to show something crazy off with Awakening, and then they update the animations with Succession. But this one already has some pretty interesting animations.
I mean, they might try and do something like Archer, where it's you know how Archer was supposed to be, hey, this is an Awakening first kit. Maybe this is an Awakening only kit.
Yeah. Also, I don't think this trailer is in remastered. Is it? It doesn't have all the same flare stuff that remastered normally has. Which I kind of find interesting. I feel like they show all this stuff off in remastered these days, but maybe not. Does this look like remastered to you? I feel like it's not. It's just high.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't have all the sparks and stuff.
I don't think things... I honestly don't like the game in remastered because it makes everything too fucking shiny.
It literally has no blooming effects whatsoever that remastered has. The sky is not bright. Literally none of the things that you see in remastered are here. So it's kind of interesting. Or at least I don't see them. Maybe it's just I don't even know. Just look at the shield. Oh, I see how the shield kind of gets shiny when she runs. Maybe it's just a shitty filter on remastered. How do they get the sky to not be blowing your eyes out? I want this version of remastered in my game. What the hell? Dude, I wonder, the ice probably looks so bad on lowest optimal.
Have you seen it on lowest optimal?
No, of course not. How would I?
That's what I was confused about.
Well, I said I bet. I bet it looks so bad on lowest optimal.
Oh, I didn't hear I bet. I just heard it looks so bad on lowest optimal. I was like, wait, what? Have you played it?
No. Dude, it looks like she has a pole skill, so she's already better than Kuno. There's one skill where she throws ice really, really far away before she attacks the mobs. I'm trying to find the spot where she does it. Where is it? I think it's right here. Maybe. Nope, that's the alt. It's earlier on. Just the idea of having something ranged that you can pull sounds like a dream come true. My poor Kuno, dude. I'm sick of playing the first person shooter with kunais when I'm trying to grind on my Kuno, you know?
So you're very excited for this class. So are you?
Here's the pull.
Is this your new class?
There it is. That's a pull ability. Look at this. There it is. Ranged pull. Ice just appears on the ground, and then she runs towards him. Which this person's not very good at grinding stars in, because she uses the ranged pull, but then goes over to the mobs that she was trying to pull. But whatever, it's fine. We don't have to judge them. I am pretty excited about the class, but again, like, I don't like Guardian at all, and I don't really like these slower playstyle classes, and I also don't even like it for the game, because it's gonna be like, if this class is as slow as it looks in this trailer, which I get, like, they probably don't have 5 move speed or 5 attack speed, and they probably are not using their attack speed buffs properly, like you would. Oh, she does have a freeze. I just noticed that right now. She freezes the skeleton mob right here. Yeah, she freezes this skeleton mob here in this frame on a... I didn't even realize that. It's the only one I see in the whole kit, it looks like. I didn't even know you could freeze those mobs. Oh, no, never mind. This is at Witch's Sanctuary, so those ones can be CC'd probably. I lost my train of thought because that freeze like threw me off. Yeah, but if she's stuck in anime, it's kind of like this. Like, one, I just don't find it fun. Like, I think it gets boring really fast when the animations are slow. And two, it's just going to be a bunch of people complaining that they can't defend themselves and ninjas are OP if it's a slow class. You know? Like, the amount of whining Guardians do already, there's just going to be like twice as many Guardians whining about getting grabbed by Zerker. There's nothing they could do. Getting grabbed by Warrior. You know? And because this class is going to be slow and probably have a ton of protection, it's also going to be like Sorks and Suck Lon and Musume are going to have a really hard time fighting them, and it's going to be awful. You know?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if it has 360 SA on block.
I would be kind of surprised if it doesn't, because it would be literally the only shield class that doesn't.
I also expect it to, but still, I'm interested to see for myself.
Yeah. That, like, I think it's her 100% maybe. This one where she charges up and does a bunch of ice, but it looks really cool how she has her mace like lights up. I don't know. It's dude, the class looks really cool. Again, like, I've always in every video game I've always been a sucker for ice abilities, so I'm kind of excited that there's finally a class that's interesting to me that uses ice. No offense, Maywas. But honestly though, it's kind of cool, and the 200% looks fucking awesome. That skill looks awesome. It's gonna be sad that it's gonna be unusable, but it looks really cool. All right. So, what about Succession? It's gonna be faster.
The Nova Succession?
Yes, Suck Guardian.
Bro, we don't even have the Awakening yet. Calm down.
Well, they usually come the same day. That's what they did with Guardian and Hash.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, with Guardian, Hash stayed the same theme. Guardian, though, has, like, totally new animations. So I wonder what they'll do here. I don't know, man. I kind of hope she uses her shield more to hit people with. I hope there's some shield bash abilities.
I hope she just gets 2 shields and she just smacks them with both shields, one in each arm.
She does helicopters?
She does like a Garen spin with her shield stuck out and just smacks them. Just bap, 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 bap.
Yeah, I wonder how long some of these mobs stay. I also wonder if the mobs like actually do damage themselves, or if it's just an animation. And if the mobs do damage, is it going to be pet damage? I assume it would be, but like clones. Oh, 3 minutes till Vel spawns? Fuck. Forgot. We're late. We started so late, dude. My sleep schedule got so fucked after that Heidel ball. Oh, I need a heart right now, man. I need a belt heart so bad.
I want to. Can you grab someone with 2 shields on your arms?
Yeah, you could put like a little opening hand slot in your shield so you could reach your hand outside of your shield to grab. I think that's entirely possible. I don't see why not. Dude. You could also the through that same slot, the Nova is also very good at receiving mail. And peeking to see who's there.
I honestly would not be surprised if this was like an archer class. Like if they just straight up were like, you know, hey, this is gonna be this is the whole shebang.
No sub.
Yeah, this is the whole shebang. No succession. Like this is the awakening. I don't know.
I honestly would also not be that surprised if they did that. Although I do think that they get a lot of negative feedback for that on Archer and Shy, so I don't know. I don't know if they will do that. I feel like they're not inclined to do it, but maybe. I don't know. Do you think that it's gonna come with any new mechanics? Like, you know how Succession kind of added a few new things like the ninjutsu stacks on Kuno or the red sword buff on Meiwa. Do you think there's gonna be anything like that? Because I was thinking they could do something with the ice, like instead of just like if you get hit by the ice enough times, like maybe it debuffs you after it gets to like 5 stacks or something, like an AP debuff, or I don't know, something. They could do something interesting like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt they will, but again, it would not surprise me if they did. Fuck. I don't know. I just no slows, please, God.
I'm really just hoping that the awakening weapon is not a 2-handed weapon where she's just spinning. That's like my biggest thing.
Big hammer.
Like, well, even if it's a big hammer, I can live with the big hammer, but because you can like do smash or possibly throwing and stuff like that, but like if it's just spinning around like Lon's forward F or Sork violation or Guardian spin.
That's its only attack. You hold left click and it just
Yeah, Zerker spin, like literally just all these classes that just spin. Maybe it can be, since it's an extendable, retractable mace, maybe they could have a hammer that like grows depending on the spell you're using. Grows and shrinks. Like when you go to hit someone, it becomes a large hammer like that. Like the ice climbers in Smash Brothers. Or not is it the ice climbers? What's the other one that also uses a big hammer? The big dude, the bird, the cape.
I don't play Smash.
God damn it. King DD, yeah, King DDD. Like his like giant hammer. That'd be kind of cool. That could be interesting. As long as they don't make it goofy looking.
If they go dual wield, it'll be even faster. 2 big hammers.
I mean, hammers are pretty common. Like even like one-handed hammers are pretty common on paladin type classes. So it could be a hammer. They could call it like a frozen mallet, you know? Ooh, what if it was a fucking giant hammer that was just ice? Like made out of ice, the whole thing.
That'd be pretty sick.
Or she could even do, what if it was literally just like, it could, I mean, if they wanted to be creative, they could also just make it so her weapon changes depending on her attack. And it's just literally ice, and it just transforms into whatever it needs to be for that attack. So for some skills, it looks like a hammer. For others, it looks like an axe. For others, it looks like a sword. Just give her Frostmourne.
That's what kind of sucks is Death Knights usually have like great swords, but that Thunder's kind of already been stolen by another class. So Candy can't go that route, unfortunately.
Yeah. That would be a little redundant. I don't know. I can't picture. I have no idea. I was not expecting, like, Hashashin when I saw it, I was not expecting what they did for Awakening at all. So, I'm expecting to be kind of surprised, and that most of us are wrong about our guesses.
She gets a gun.
Laser eyes and a gun. Are you at Velrez?
No.
Oh, dude. That's free 9 bill. Almost guaranteed.
If you get a Vel, then I'll feel bad.
Alright, now I hope I get a Vel. Because you're being irresponsible.
When am I being responsible?
I don't have enough stamina to swim down. This Vel's about to kill me for sure. Whoop. There I go. Yeah, same. I hope they don't change the Awakening to fire. That would be super lame. I don't want any more fire classes, dude. Like, we have that's the thing that's so surprising is ice is such a common thing in MMOs and like games with spells and abilities, and I find it strange that there's only one class that's like based around ice, but there's 4 based around fire. Striker, Musa, Guardian, and then Wizard. There's like so much fire in this game. Is there more? There might even be more than that. What else uses fire? Maybe not. It's too much fire, dude.
Too much fire.
Too much fire, dude. We need ice. Alright, well. Vel's down.
Good luck.
It was it because of Reslar that I wasn't getting a heart all these weeks.
Probably. Let's be honest.
Guard has lightning though. I mean, none of its skills are actually lightning, so I don't know how you think Guardian has lightning. I mean, it's like Succession.
The Succession kind of has lightning kind of effects.
Yeah,
I guess.
But it's not really like a lightning element. There's nothing. I don't even think any of the skills are called anything named after lightning, are they?
I don't think so, no.
Alright, here I go. Guess no countdown this week. We just click and disappoint immediately. At least make me cheer. Tease me. Oh, I cheered. What'd I get? Must be a ring. Oh my fucking god, motherfucker, Reslar.
You did not get a
I
Vel
got
heart.
a fucking heart, baby. Let's go. Reslar was holding me back. Fuck you, Reslar. What the hell? Yes, let's go. Oh my
That's
god.
fucking hilarious.
Reslar was holding me back this whole time, dude. Reslar, you selfish son of a bitch. Oh my
See, the problem was,
god.
whenever we open it together, we share the same RNG, right? I
Yeah,
think
we
that's
share
real
the
problem.
same shitty fate, dude. Oh. Oh. Oh, thank God, dude. I needed that. That just a few bill, you know? I had some bad luck with disto enhancing. Oh my god, dude. No, that's not Pen Crescent yet. I still need like 5 bill. Oh my god, I got a freaking heart, Reslar! Reslar, you should have gone to Vel, dude. We were both gonna get one.
No,
Dude,
I
it
wouldn't have got one,
always
and then I would
happens
have been
that way.
extra sad.
Oh my god, dude, I cannot believe I got it. Dude, I saw the cheer. I couldn't even find it in my inventory. My inventory is so fucking gross. I couldn't find it anywhere in there. I was like, dude, I don't see anything. Where is my item? Oh my god, dude. I can't. That's it. Well, thank you guys for coming today. I gotta go lay down. Okay. Let's talk about this. So they announced the winter season, which is coming December 22nd. And credit to Paper Patience, who said, like, immediately when they announced that's going to be the release date for the Nova. And, dude, this is the fastest I feel like we've ever seen a class announcement to release date ever. Because we're getting pre-create. So the announcement was a day ago. Pre-creation is in 2 days or 3 days. And then we get to play the class next week. And it's global. It's every server on every platform gets to play the class on December 22nd/23rd. Kind of hype.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool thing.
It's gonna be interesting.
I think
like I mentioned this whenever we were getting the reactions, but I think this is their version of the necromancer class.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before. You can't do an actual like necromancer in this game because like with pets and stuff, it just wouldn't work, unfortunately.
It'd be way
so I
too
think
laggy.
this is kind of I think this is kind of their solution where it's like, well, we can do what we did with Striker and make it to where there's shadow summons that show up for the animations, basically.
Dude, I gotta concentrate on magic. Yeah, no, I agree. I also like the idea that it's Kama mobs. Is that in that video, that little teaser video? That's underneath Odraxia, or is that underneath somewhere else? Isn't that the library near Odraxia? Where that looks like?
No, that I believe.
I feel like they said what it was, but I can't remember. Fjorn's saying it's Odraxia.
I don't know. It just looked like a fucking. All I could think about was the mansion that they just talked about, like right before that. I was like, this looks like the mansion.
It's supposed to be the Crypt of Resting Thoughts.
Is
Nobody
it the
was
Crypt of
looking
Resting
into this,
Thoughts?
so I believe. Isn't the Crypt of Resting Thoughts though? Doesn't it have a part that like maybe I'm misremembering? I thought it had like a tunnel or something that kind of leads to the city, or close to the city or something, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Either way, it's she's like buried underneath a city. So I'm wondering why, if it's like Odalita based, why are the mobs she's spawning from Kama? I wonder what the connection is there. Or maybe that's just because it only showed a few of the skills. Maybe she's gonna spawn more mobs from other places. Like, dude, it would be kind of sick if some of the animations spawned Tauros mobs. That would look really fucking cool.
Well, and that's like, I was actually talking a bit about her on stream. I was streaming before the podcast started. And I was saying, like, I wish that her whole thing wasn't about like Calpheon. I wish it was about Kama, because that would have been so much cooler if she was like if she was from like an ancient civilization before the forest grew in Kama and before the elves settled, and like Kama was like covered in ice, like whenever her people like ruled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then she got sealed, the ice and snow like melted, and then Kama, like the big forest that we know Kama for, like grew, and then the elves started living there. I feel like that would have been really cool, but instead it's like Calpheon for some reason. Kind of weird champ. But then she was sealed in Odalita, I guess. So I don't know. It's very confusing.
Someone said her grab is a Tauros mob holding you up while she bashes you in the face with the shield. It's just a tag team. Dude, yeah, I don't know. I want to know more about those clone thingies that she's spawning. They're also not really ice related at all.
No, they're not. They're like shadow demons.
Yeah. Also a little bit odd that Guardian is from the snow and she's like fire, and then Nova.
Everyone
is
keeps
not.
saying that. I disagree.
Is that not odd? Why is that not odd? Explain it to me.
Because she's supposed to be like the god killer or whatever. So it makes sense for her to be like the fire in the fucking snow region to me. Apparently I'm the only one that makes sense because people keep saying that. They keep saying, well, this should have been from the snow region, not Guardian, but to me it makes sense that Guardian is all fire.
Maybe it's because I'm thinking of the what is that? Hold on, let me look up the name. That Santa Claus movie. You know, the really, really old one from like way back in the day, where it has the ice guy and the fire guy that are like enemies. I forget their names. And the ice guy lives in the snow. He's like from there. Boomer detected. It's a really, really old. It's like the clay animation Santa Claus. It's it has like the god of ice or whatever who's evil until Santa Claus teaches him to be kind, you know? So,
interesting.
I think ties a lot into this lore here in BDO. If you really think about it. Well, I guess my simple mind is like, maybe I'm thinking I played too much Pokemon growing up, you know? So I'm just like, oh, Articuno lives up in the snow. And yeah.
I like
Heat Miser and Ice Miser. That's what they were. Heat Miser and Ice Miser, yeah.
I like Invendicia's point. He says, why would you want ice in a land of ice?
Well, haven't you ever seen Frozen? You know, she spawns all sorts of ice. She lives in a snowy climate. Why the fuck BDO cares about Santa Claus clay animation? Alright, Fjorn. The fact that you said that in all caps and cussed with Santa Claus in your sentence is strange. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there, okay? There's a lot of like ice themed characters in video games, movies, TV shows, cartoons that are like from snowy lands. I don't remember Knight Rider, Nicolas Cage's Knight Rider, living in a fucking snowy mountain. Do you, Reslar? With his skull on fire? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, moving on.
Wait. Say that to me one more time.
I'm not saying that again. I legally can't say that again. I'm
Please,
contracted to only say that once.
Did you mean by chance Ghost Rider?
Oh yeah, what did I say? Oh, I said Knight Rider. I meant Ghost Rider.
You said Knight Rider.
I meant Ghost Rider. Yeah, Ghost Rider with the flaming skull, dude. Dude, Fjorn's actually really upset that I brought up Santa Claus in a clay animation. Pretty sure he punched his second monitor. He was so mad. Okay. The winter season. Are you excited at all about the winter season? When they talked about the season, they mentioned, I mean, this kind of leads into the Blackstar enhancement, Matt, so maybe we could talk about that together, but they did mention that a lot of new players that start playing the game for the first time feel lost after they graduate from seasons, and that they're looking into that and trying to improve that experience and that transition to make it easier for players to jump into the game once season ends. So yeah, I guess two-parter. Anything about winter season have you excited? Are you gonna make a seasonal character? Is your Nova going to be seasonal? And also, are they going? But outside of Blackstar mats, are they going to do anything to make the end of season graduation easier for new players?
I mean, probably. Well, first of all, I don't really care about season, but I do like reroll coupons, so I'm hoping that we'll get those again. Personally,
yeah,
looking forward to that. But they'll probably make it easier because that's just what they do. They just make it easier. Like, it's not even, you don't even have to relate it to season. They literally just make things easier for new players. That's just what they do. So, yeah, I'd fully expect them to do that.
Do you think it's a bad thing? Look, these people are undercutting my belts hard already, dude. That's all.
Not really. I don't know. I don't really care. It's like, I don't know. I'm not one of those boomers that's like, make it harder for them because I had it hard. I really don't care one way or the other. If they make it harder or easier, rather, fine. If they leave it the way it is, fine.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. I mean, the seasons have been good for the game, I think, overall. The thing is I always find insane is it took me over a year to get to soft cap, like full Tet armor, Tet weapons, and tri-gold accessories, and now like seasonal players get that, I don't know, in a month.
Yeah.
Or so, which I think is a good thing because there's still a long road after that. So it's not like they're like completely caught up, but like just having to go through that same long crap when you first start the game, like now that the game is 5 years old, like doesn't really make sense, you know?
I do find it funny that it's like they say like new players are having a hard time like gearing or knowing how to gear, yada yada yada, but then the little like graphic that they made had like well over half of the player base within like 100 gear score of each other. And I was like, I don't know, weird champ. I know that's not a 1-to-1 ratio, but also, can we talk about that graph for a second?
Yeah,
because they don't know how graphs work.
Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. I think I had it. Ah, fuck. Where did I have this graph?
It was pointed out on Reddit that they don't know how graphs work. Let me see if it's still on Reddit.
See if I could find it.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, this isn't the best picture of it, but you can see the whole picture, and then he kind of points out the interesting things about it.
Are you looking at, which one are you looking at? The class pick rate or the, I don't know which graph you're, oh, did you link it? Here, let me see.
I linked it, yeah. No, the gear score graph. They don't know how graphs work.
Okay. What's wrong with the graph? I haven't analyzed this graph.
Look, okay, so generally speaking, when you have a graph, the bigger the portion of the graph is, the bigger the number is the thing, which is not the case with this graph. You can see the 4.3% is like a third of the whole fucking graph for some reason, even though it's only 4.3%, which is kind of strange.
Right. Yeah, it's like the almost like the complete opposite here. It like gets smaller.
Yeah. And then you can see like it says 24.7% and 27.8%. And those are like super tiny. It's really strange.
I mean,
I don't think
it's
they
fine.
I don't think
The
they know
information
how
is still
graphs
there.
work.
Dude, now I really want to ask someone why it's like that. That's kind of interesting.
Why the graph is like that?
Well, yeah, because their other graph for the who plays what classes on these other servers for KR and Taiwan are not like that. They're the opposite. They're a normal pie graph.
Yeah, couldn't tell you, man. This, COVID's got it rough out here for the interns that are making these things,
Do you guys see anything wrong with this graph? I don't know if you saw this one, Rose. Here, let me send you this. Do you see kind of where we're headed? Does this look okay to you?
That's funny. Yeah, but we're not gonna nerf Suck Wizard though, because we want to make everyone feel like Suck Wizard. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Dude, a lot more people play Zerker on these two servers.
Zerker's busted, man. What can you say?
Also interesting in KR, Ninja's not even like on the graph, but in Taiwan, it's the fourth biggest. All right. Well, that's our graph portion of the segment.
Our graph portion.
That's our graph portion. Let's try to talk about these main server and server wars. So I'm going to read this just for myself as a refresher because it was kind of a lot, and I think the way it was translated was somewhat confusing. But these are the bullet points that BD Foundry put up, and I'm just going to read through them, and then we'll kind of address the whole idea. Main server system and server wars. A main server system is being introduced for guilds. All guilds will now designate one server and gain benefits when playing in that specific server. So far, like these two ideas so far, I like a lot. I like the idea of a home server, and I believe you said you do too. They said, as an example of one of the benefits you gain is that you can freely move between the different number channels under the same name without a cooldown. Invasion Week and Server Wars are planned to add more content that ties in with the new main server system. And here's an example of one. Invasion Week will be held every 1 to 2 months. During this period, you'll be able to obtain attack and defense buffs and better benefits. However, your guild will become hostile with all guilds from other main servers and can freely invade other servers in open PvP battles. The details are still in development, but the idea is the main goal will be to steal the other server's relic, and if successful, your server will gain additional benefits. And then once Invasion Week is over, each server will be placed in a Calpheon or Valencia territory. Looks like they're bringing territory wars back. The hopes that it'll be somewhat evenly split. Guilds belonging to each territory will then take part in a grand battle to invade or defend from opposing server guilds. Guild campsites and tactical elephants will be added to serve as a frontline headquarters in these battles and add more strategic elements. Developers are hoping that this content will be more open to all guilds despite their size and strength. The aim will be that guilds from the same territory will work together and protect each other. Certain restrictions will be added to this content to ensure adventurers who do not enjoy PvP are not affected. More PvE and life skill content will also be added that will affect the server war and create competition within the territories. So your thoughts on this whole entire new system that they want to
add? So I kind of like the home system, the home channel thing. That's pretty cool. I know people don't really do it anymore, but people used to have home channels back in the day and like really heavily abide by them. So it would be like, I remember like in Oblivion on our home channel, it was like if you started a fight with a different guild on a different channel, like that wasn't our home channel, then it was like, we're not going to go help you because you're not on the home channel sort of thing. Like we're only going to defend if it's on our home channel. Like you're stepping on their turf. That's your problem, not the guild's problem sort of thing. So I think that's pretty cool that they're kind of like going in that direction. I don't know. I think the no cooldown, if you swap between servers on the same server system, that's a pretty cool thing to do. It'll help, like, deal with, like, finding a spot and shit faster.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think so they mentioned, like, AP or, like, strength buffs. What do you think the buffs should be? Like, let's say if, so it says, as an example, one of the benefits for playing on your main server, you can move between channels without a cooldown. And then during Invasion Week, you'll get other buffs. But do you think that should be the only thing? Or do you think there should be, like, a drop rate or EXP or skill EXP or something like that kind of buff when you're on your home server to incentivize?
Oh, I'm sure they will. They'll probably do like a drop rate buff. My lights just flickered. Hey, by the way, there's a huge storm at my house, so if I just randomly stop talking, power probably went out. It'll probably, I expect it. I would be surprised if it wasn't like some sort of like drop buff or something like that. I'm sure it will be. Probably gonna be like a drop rate buff, for like life skillers and grinders and shit.
A permanent GM blessing. So a GM blessing wouldn't be that bad if, like, while you're on the channel, you get the benefits of a GM blessing. Maybe it'd be a little bit overpowered with the life EXP. Maybe, I don't know. But it'd be kind of interesting. It would also, one of the things I'm excited about with this whole Invasion Week and, like, every server cluster is going to have a number of guilds that are like a part of that server, is it'll form alliances like by accident. Like, you know how, like when we were back in Hex, like, and we would change, I don't know, we probably changed our home server every like 6 months or so. But do you remember it was like literally just a totally different community every time you swapped? Like, you knew all the guilds on your server, and you had enemy guilds on that server and ally guilds on that server that you saw all the time. And then when you swap, it's like, oh, these are like all different people that we see all the time now. So I'm wondering if instead of enemy guilds on those servers, it's going to be mostly friendlies. The only thing is going to be weird is like, there's going to be some infighting. Because if you can, well, I guess without, like, there's less reason to fight if you can channel swap freely. Because you can just look for a spot. The thing that makes it so frustrating when a spot is taken on multiple channels is that you have to wait so long. So, I don't know. It's kind of... Dude, the whole thing... I mean, overall, it sounds freaking awesome. I feel like it's somehow exploitable, but it sounds awesome. What about the invasion...
Somehow exploitable.
Yeah. What about the invasion week stuff? Like, every 1 to 2 months during a period, you'll be able to obtain attack and defense buffs and better benefits. And your guild will become hostile with all other guilds from other main servers, so you can freely invade other servers in open PvP battles. Basically, you're going to be decked against everyone when you're on their server.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some objectives. It looks like you'll be able to steal the other server's relic, which I don't know exactly what that means, and then gain additional benefits. This sounds like
all I know,
micro faction wars.
Yeah, all I know is guild PR and guild politics just got way more important if you care about, like, keeping your buff. That's all I'm gonna say. Because, like, if you are in a guild that everyone fucking hates, then probably, A, you're gonna have people ganging up on you, and B, you're probably not gonna have people, like, coming to defend your server with you. Because they're gonna be like, I don't want to team up with that guy. Like, that guy fucking has, like, 1 million people against him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be rough. If you're a strong guild, it's going to be kind of in your best interest a little bit to be, like, not an asshole.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Because I'm assuming, unless the Invasion Week thing is like, hey, you're on Kama, your war is against the Balanos channels. I'm assuming it's not like that, and that you can just pick whatever fucking server you want to go to and try and, like, fight on. Which means that you can be like, oh, hey, this is, to pick on an old guild that people used to hate, this is Baka's home channel. Like, me and my, 5 friends that are in all these other guilds, we're gonna get our guilds to go, like, fuck this one channel up just to fuck that guild out of their buff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder so much how that's all gonna work. Because, like, the relic thing, can I just randomly be like my GM, like, everyone's kind of asleep, it's late at night, it's like 5 a.m. and me and 10 friends, like, go to another server hop and kill whatever you have to kill. I don't know what the objective will be, but then, like, your GM wakes up in the morning like, hey, GM, got the server relic while you were asleep. We now have benefits.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be like a capture the flag thing, or, like, what's it gonna be like?
Yeah, because I'm wondering if can anyone just go start participating at any time, or is it going to be like an organized, like, your guild has to kind of organize and get you to all go at once? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
It'll be interesting.
It could be fun.
I mean, I guess that's
right.
kind of why. I guess that's another reason why they removed the cooldown on your same, like, server system. So that, like, if somebody comes to fuck you up on Invasion Week and you just, like, don't want to deal with it,
yeah,
you can just like, swap channels, and they can't. They still have a 15-minute cooldown, but you have a 0-minute cooldown, you know? Right. So you can just bounce around, and they're like, oh, fuck, gotta wait. If they want to, like, chase you or whatever.
It's like the closest thing to an honor system this game has offered. And I'm not really a fan of factions generally in games, because one, they're wildly imbalanced all the time. There's generally like one super powerful faction that everyone tries to go to, and then it's full, and you're just kind of, the people don't really want to be in the other faction, so they don't really participate and stuff. Two, it also separates like your friends. Like you can't really like freely swap servers a lot of the times because of restrictions.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that it's like mini factions. I just hope that there's legit incentive to try to do it. That people are like, oh no, these buffs are good. Like let's get together. We want these buffs. You know, that's all I'm hoping for.
It'll be interesting. I wonder if it's gonna be like a with the whole stealing the relic thing or whatever. I wonder if it's gonna be like capture the flag or something, where it's like there's two locations. If you have it in one location, then you know the server that you were stealing it from or you're defending keeps it, and then if it's in another location, then it's the guild, the person, I guess, whoever stole the relic, his guild's server gets like a bonus, you know?
Yeah. So the bounty and sheriff system, which you said and I think Raid said have to do with the server cluster thing. I'm not too sure, but either way,
I could have sworn that's what they said.
Regardless of that, whether it's like tied to that or not, it's if someone is griefing you in your spot, you're gonna be able to call someone else, hire them, deputize them to protect you. I guess. I don't know. They didn't mention any rewards or anything. They just call it a sheriff/bounty system to kind of help weak players defend themselves or their grind spots or something. So I assume there's going to be incentive. Otherwise, I don't know why anyone would ever come help.
My question with this whole thing is this the solution to karma bombing?
I hope you...
Like, can you call a sheriff on a guildless player?
Oh, dude, if you can, that'd be so nice. Also, I hope you can deputize yourself.
Like, so I'm assuming the whole thing about the sheriff is that they, like, maybe not take no karma loss, but, like, reduced karma loss. So it's like, I'm wondering if the sheriff is the fix to karma bombing. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just trying to think.
I mean, it potentially could be, right? I don't know, though. It potentially could be.
Also, how many sheriffs can you hire? Because, like, if Divios walks into your spot, I don't think one sheriff's gonna be able to remove him.
Yeah, looking for an entire squad.
It's like I'm gonna need Choice, Zethian, like just fucking all the like super geared people.
Dude, if it's not tied to guild or bounty or anything, it would be kind of interesting if you could hire a sheriff to kill that sheriff's own guild. Like if I'm being griefed by a Snake member, if I could hire Messilas to come defend me, even though he's also in Snake.
Can I just like when you're streaming, can I just hire a sheriff to go murder you?
I think, see, that's the thing though, is because it did seem related to dying. I think you have to kill the player. So if you could come kill me, or if you can come attack me and then I kill you, then you can hire a sheriff on me.
Yeah. Wait until you're on our show with your flag up, and then I go walk into the pack.
Well, you could call a sheriff and claim self-defense. It's perfect. It's very American, actually.
It's very American.
It is.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna do something real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hyped for the idea of being hired or hiring people, but if there's not rewards there, like remember, if someone is grinding, if I'm grinding and I have a loot scroll going, granted we'll be able to stop and halt our loot scrolls at any time. But if I want money and I'm grinding, like I can't be bothered to go help someone if the incentive is not at least remotely close to what my loot scroll is earning me. You know? That's one of the things I'm kind of concerned with, is like, at first it'll be cool and people are like, yeah, PvP, but then after a while it's like, well, this is not really efficient for me to come be a sheriff, so I'm just going to keep rejecting all these sheriff quests. You know? True, Bear, true. I don't know. Bear, did you see? I got a Vel's heart, dude. I got a magic. It happened. It finally happened. I'm a god. Yeah, I did. I'm closer. I'm closer to my goal. So I wanna wait for Rezlar to get back, but there's a ranked 10v10 that they mentioned, and Rezlar's upset about it, and I really want his take on why he's upset about it. Also, the thing with the sheriff, like I'm pretty sure they mention a bounty sheriff system for people weaker in PvP and need help. The idea is still in development, but the system will be call sheriff, ask for help from the strongest adventurers. Like, I'm wondering what the prerequisites are going to be for calling a sheriff, because if you can just call a sheriff just to grief people, will probably be a problem. But if it's like, hey, Laserface came into my grind spot, killed me, and then took off all his gear, and I can hire a sheriff that can't lose karma and can just farm Laserface all day, that's kind of a cool thing, you know?
Why do you hate Laserface so much, you know? What's up with that?
I
thought you guys were buds.
He's basically 680 gear score and he takes his gear off. Think about that. Like, he karma bombs people by taking his gear off at 680 gear score. It's crazy. Just think about that, dude. Yeah, so I was holding off talking about the 10v10 thing for you to get back, because you seemed pretty upset about it. Let me just read what they say.
Well, okay, hold on.
Well, let me read the bullet point. Let me read the bullet points, and then you get into why this is the reason Kakao is being fired. All right, hold on. All right, 10v10 crews, 10-person teams, 3 in reserve. New areas are being developed to create competitive PvP content between crews. The developers have a range of options, such as capture the flag or a BDO mini siege war. They haven't confirmed what they want to do. These were just some ideas, and they said a ranked system will be added for a Champions League and potentially some global tournaments for these 10v10s. So, what is your big gripe with the 10v10s? Why do you hate all these fun, awesome things?
I don't have a gripe with the 10v10s. I'm just confused as to why. Similarly to how I'm confused at why they refused to nerf Succession Wizard, I'm similarly confused as to why they refused to give us a ranked 1v1 and 2v2 ladder. Like, it's just confusing. It's like, hey, we would really like a ranked 1v1, 2v2 ladder. 10v10?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that 10v10 isn't cool, but it's not what we've been asking for. It's like, sure, it might be cool, it might be fun, it all depends on how they implement it, but like, people have been asking for a ranked 1v1 and 2v2 literally since launch. And then they finally do some form of like ranked team play, and they're like, 10v10. That's what the people want, 10v10.
Yeah, nobody said it, dude. They don't have the technology.
They don't have the technology. I don't know, it's just weird. And again, I'm not saying that 10v10 is bad. Like, it'll probably be pretty fun. But like, it's just weird. It's just weird how they selectively listen to what players say. It's really strange.
Infusion saying ranked 1v1 ladders just wouldn't work. Like, I just disagree with that. I mean, you can complain about balance, and you can say that the game's not balanced, so it wouldn't be fair. But at the end of the day, like, you're still gonna have people that are like that win against bad matchups, that win against people with more gear. However they do it, whether it's equalized or not equalized, like, there's going to be good players that overcome obstacles that they shouldn't be winning against, and that's one of the things that's really cool about a ladder. Right, like when you queue up for something, if let's just say Ninja's supposed to win in everything, right? If I'm a class like a Guardian or something, I queue up for rank and I get a Ninja. Like, the fact, if I beat that Ninja, like, now I get to record that, brag about it, like, that's forever. Like, that's a really cool feeling, you know? And also, it's one of those things too, is like, if there's rank 1v1 and it's like a balance issue is a major problem, like, it will show itself on a ladder, which I don't think is a bad thing. So
here's the thing that's always confused me about the whole, like, the game's not balanced around 1v1s, so a 1v1 ladder doesn't make sense. Today I learned that this game is perfectly balanced around large scale.
Yeah, that's the thing. Dude,
Like, large scale isn't balanced, so we should cancel Node Wars. We should cancel RBF because it's not balanced around large scale. What? What? This game is not balanced, and it never will be. Like, that is not a valid argument as to why you shouldn't have a form of content. It's really strange.
yeah, every game I've ever played has had meta classes that are like the top of the ladder, and everyone rolls to them, and like that's just, I don't know, any ranked ladders have always like had that. So I don't really mind so much about that. I still want to be able to just go into queue up and fight against people and get some rewards for participating in 1v1s.
And the thing is like you were saying, like, imbalance helps create like legends too, right? Because you'll have like a witch, an awakened witch, you know, oh, awakened witch, so bad at 1v1s, but then there's an awakened witch in like the top 10 1v1ers in NA.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, that dude's like insane. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It it creates like legends, you know?
You remember in the BSL King of the Hill when, and this was, I know it sounds weird to say, but it was when like people really weren't feeling that good about Striker, and CP just ran through all the ninjas and Kunos and Sorks and everybody. Like he just literally went through the entire other team of great players, and it was just like, dude, that was like, that shit was hype. It made you want to go see, like, wait, what happened? This guy's crazy. Like, stuff like that is really fucking cool. Like, I love that. There was I think it was on EU, the EU wizard. That random awakened wizard that ran through 4 people. He went through like a ninja, he went through a sork, he went through a warrior. Like, he just was farming everybody. And people were like, what the hell is happening? Like, stuff like that can't happen if you're just like, nah, it wouldn't be fair, so we're not going to have it. I don't know. Yeah, and even if, let's just say whatever, they're afraid of what the balance issues that it would reveal, can we at least have 3v3? Like, 3v3 would at least be super fun, if nothing else, right? Like, there's so many different team comps that you can go in with to try to overcome things that you think are imbalanced that, like, there wouldn't really be one perfect team, you know? So, I
feel like really... I feel like the thing is like they already have the framework for this too. That's the weird thing about it. They already have the framework of it with Team Battle.
Yeah, Team Battle, and BDO Mobile has it too. That's, I think, one thing that's always tilted everyone is like BDO Mobile has always had ranked arenas. They just need to discuss with that team, you know, like, hey, what'd you guys do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those people have to fight
like,
with their thumbs. Think about that.
And again, because I know there's gonna be like just a slew of comments probably, and just Reslor just always has to complain about everything. Like 10v10's cool. It's just I'm saying it's weird that their first thought when it comes to making a competitive like ranked ladder for PvP is they're like 10v10s, obviously, not the 1v1s or 2v2s that people have been asking for years. It's really strange.
Maybe this is why. Maybe they didn't want to release a ranked game mode where PA isn't the primary like importance. Basically, with 10v10,
you think that might be it?
Well, you can PA exactly 10 people, you know? And if you have enough wizards and witch and you're 10v10, you can have PA up for a lot of your fights. So, maybe that's the thing. Maybe they look at their graph like, well, yeah, but you guys all play Wiz Witch, so we got to do group stuff only.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
All right. As far as the PvP stuff, they also like briefly touched on that the Node War stuff that's in Global Labs is still coming, and they're working on that. There wasn't really any new information about that. They still said they were going to release visual aids and or video, so that way we understand it better. So the second that happens, we will let you guys know and share it with you guys.
Still hasn't been released. Still waiting on that.
Yeah, because I mean, there's still a lot of questions with that. Like my biggest question is it like, are you actually going to be defending 2 forts in one Node War, or 2 or more forts? Because if you are, I actually think that would be really, really cool if you are, and I hope that's the case, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. I was talking with Victor's about, I think it was Victor's. Victor's had the ideas like, well, you could just go on Global Labs, like even though they don't place, or they don't fight on Global Labs, like no one does Node War, you could just go like as a guild leader place on one day, then go back the next day, place another fort, and then see, like, just have a friend go on a different day, placing on the same territory, and see if they can attack both forts. I don't know if the whole thing is implemented on Global Labs or not, but supposedly is. So we'll think.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many questions. They need to come out with the thing.
What are your
so
thoughts
actually...
on Infusion says it's not the class balance, it's the imbalance of gear? I still think that that's a thing that is kind of an aspect that would be fun to try to overcome. Here's the thing, is when I remember, like, this would happen with a lot of people. Like, there was a Meiwa, I cannot remember their name, but literally, like, they were like 220 AP, and they used to kill all these people that were like 620 gear score back when that was like what 650 is now or 660 is now. And like that was bragging rights. Like the same thing is like, I don't know. I don't think it's, I don't, even if it wasn't gear matched and it was like you could use full gear, I really don't think it's that big of a deal because you can still try to overcome these people with more gear, you know? And they can also just do, it really wouldn't be that hard to do sort of like weight classes. Like between 600 and 650 gear score would be one of the ladders, and between 650 and above is another, you know? It really wouldn't be that big a deal. It's kind of insane because like you can get to the gear where like you can kill people. Like you can, if you just want to focus on AP, you can, yeah, you'll die quick, but it's not like impossible to get to a point where you can kill people. And if you can use everything in a fight, you can Z buff or E buff or whatever. I don't know. I just don't think that that's even with like a gear gap, I don't think that that's reason enough to not have a ladder. Like it's just another reason to incentivize people to get gear. If anything, it would make them more money, because like if you want to be at the top of the ladder and it requires you having some gear, and they start selling artisans and costumes again, you know? I mean, there's definitely a segment of the community that's like only PvP oriented and they don't really care about their gear, and they'd be way more incentivized to get gear if it meant that it's going to help them on the ladder. And right now, like those people don't care.
I also feel like it wouldn't be very hard to do like trial ladder, like have a regular ladder and then a trial ladder.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, trials are ass, but I mean...
Yeah, without precisions would be rough. But yeah, I don't know. Moving on. Alright, so they announced the new region. Again, because they kind of already said there's a new region in the works. But, it has a name now. The Mountain of Eternal Winter. They showed off 2 different mob types and basically said that the region's not coming for at least a year. So one of the mob types were like these Yeti looking things with horns. And then the other one was like pill bugs. They described them as pill bugs that you would see when you were a kid. These are their words. Except they act like ants. Which is so weird.
Legitimate question. What the fuck is a pill bug?
A pill bug is what a lot of kids call roly-polies.
Oh, it's a roly-poly.
Yeah,
okay,
roly-polies. Yeah, it's a pill bug. And they roll up, you know? A little shell, dude. Little armadillo bugs. Yeah, but I don't know, the grind spot seemed kind of interesting, I guess. They had some mechanics. I don't remember fully. Let me see if this has like a better explanation of the mechanics. So, new region's in development for quite some time. It's a never-ending winter and home of the Guardian class. The region is susceptible to sudden snowfall, and players will need to light a fire or seek shelter if they don't want to risk a frigid death to hypothermia. So this sounds like there's going to be a new debuff that's separate from what you get right now in the desert. This is going to be a more like intense debuff where you actually have to light a fire, which I kind of like. I mean, maybe a year into it, it'll get annoying But at first, it's kind
The
of cool.
thing is, as long as the Oasis is out, we don't have debuffs anyway. So
Yeah. But it also says Guardian class will be immune to hyperthermia in this region, and Shy can use their buffs to protect their allies along their travels. I also have a feeling, yeah, we have hypothermia already, but this one's a little bit different.
Incoming new ghillie suit, by the way.
Like currently, you can't even light a fire or seek shelter. So this is definitely going to be a new debuff. They called it hypothermia, but it's most likely going to be something different. I also think you're probably not going to be able to ride your horse at full speed here. And I wonder if the map is going to be available or not.
I'm telling you, incoming ghillie suit. I already see it. Snow ghillie suit.
Ooh, a snow ghillie? I'm in. Down for a snow ghillie. Although they never gave us a water ghillie for Sakrea. I mean, you kind of could just dye your ghillie white. Okay, so the grind zones, the new zone, one of them was called Oak Jinsini and resides on the Golden Mountain. In this area, you may face snow trolls / yetis. The second new zone is Murawak Labyrinth. And in this area, you can find monsters that have similar behavior to ants. In these ant holes, you can activate the queen's nest, fight against the queen, whilst her Marowaks flood into her aid. The fight is described as chaotic, and defeating the queen will reward you with better loot. A golden dragon also lays in slumber at the Mountain of Eternal Winter. Probably a future world boss, as they point out here. The new zone is planned to be released in winter 2021, which, again, is confusing wording, but probably not until the end of next year. Thoughts on the new area?
I don't know. Kind of need to see more of it. I mean, they only showed like what, 3 screenshots?
Yeah, they
4
showed
screenshots.
Pictures of one of the new mobs, and that was it. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of whatever.
See, that's an interesting thing. Infonaut says Yetis are 1v1 mobs. It did say, it kind of alluded to something like that, where it said, like, you have to, like, brawl the Yetis in, like, a solo bout, or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it was, like, it kind of implied that there's going to be, like, some special thing you had to do.
Yeah. Like, bring a Shy with you.
Bring a Shy with you?
Well, how are you gonna get there, dude? You're gonna die. You're gonna freeze to death.
You gotta buy the snow ghillie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about all that, dude. Yeah, they didn't even show a teaser of what this major city will look like. They didn't show a teaser of any of the towns. They didn't show the mountain. They didn't show anything. So we have no idea. But snow in this game looks pretty cool during the winter time, so I assume it'll look pretty cool. Unicorn.
It's probably gonna be a really pretty area.
You can quote me on this and be mad at me later for this, but I'm pretty sure when this is officially out, Unicorn will be able to run full speed in the snow. And the other horses will not. You'll probably have to use a camel or a bear or an elephant or something weird. Maybe there will be
a bear would be cool.
A bear would be kind of sick. Why not Doom? Because Doom's fire will be put out immediately. He's like Charmander, dude. When his flame goes out, he dies.
Oh no!
I know, isn't that so sad? Charmander is so cute. All right. It's let's see. All right, new co-op. Well, hold on. There was a since we're talking about the new region, they did tease like a newer region like way down the road. So I guess we just touch on that real quick while we're talking about new regions. They talked about Land of the Dawn, which will be an expansion of Port Rat, and the way they described this, at least this is how I understood it. That because they called it a new continent. They said that right now we're all on one continent, and then this will be a new continent with more like traditional like Asian themes. It sounds like it's going to be like a massive entire new just land. More so than just like, hey, here's a new grind spot, like an Odalita expansion. Like it sounds like their aspirations for this is going to be like basically doubling the size of BDO, or at least like a massive expansion on the map. Is that how you took it, Reslar? Or what were your thoughts on how they described the Land of the Dawn?
Very vague.
True. They were very vague.
Like everything they say in these fucking conferences. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with it. Because we kind of talked about that before the Calpheon thing, right? We talked about it, I think, last week or the week before. We talked about expanding from Port Rat, or, you know, like, where do you go from here sort of thing. So, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do, ultimately.
You know what's kind of wild about this is they showed more screenshots of this new region that's not even out yet than they did of the snow region. Even though this one's 2 years away. They showed like 5 or 6 screenshots of like what it would look like and some buildings and stuff. And then, I mean, I don't know if they're just rehashed screenshots from stuff they've had for a long time, but they haven't shown anything about the Mountain of Winter, but they actually showed some of the Land of Dawn. It's the home of the Musa and the Mewa, Musa, Mewa, and Lan. The region will be north of the map, expanding Port Rat with an Asian culture influence and theme, and the continent is in early development. Estimated release date is within the next 2 years. So it's a long way off.
So Tamer's from somewhere else?
I don't know where Tamer's from. I'm sure someone knows, but I actually don't remember where Tamer is from. If I had to guess, Tamer's from that little castle area just north of Heidel where all the guards are.
That would make sense.
Yeah. That little castle area is so random. Heidel Castle Siege win.
I think it's just there for war purposes.
Okay. Co-op dungeon. They used the word dungeon. Now, they said it was not going to be instanced and that you will be able to run into other adventures down there, but they used the word dungeon. Pearl Abyss noted that instance dungeons and more co-op content are the most frequently requested content since the start of BDO. A new dungeon for co-op has been developed, but there will not be any dungeon exclusive rewards because they don't want it to feel compulsory, which I appreciate. The dungeon will not be instanced. It will be open world. To enter the dungeon, you must go through a secret room in the ancient stone chamber. Dungeon will be large. Some areas may require 3 to 5 players. It is also designed for long sessions and strategic play, which may involve solving puzzles and more dungeon-like content in a way that fits BDO. Solo grind spots will still be developed going forward. So they don't want you to feel like all they're going to do going forward is dungeons. They're still making solo grind spots. Again, very vague, but I like their caveats that they want this to be a place where you feel like you can go and make money, but they don't want you to feel like you have to go here to make the most money, which is what one of my issues is with a lot of other games where I feel like I have to sit there and wait for my friends to get on to go do a raid that's super important, or I have to queue up and wait for a healer, you know? But a dungeon, I mean, you've mentioned you want dungeons, so at least it's in their minds. Are you feeling negative about this as usual?
Of course. No, I mean, personally, I don't really care about dungeons. I've just never understood why they don't have them. Like, that's always been weird to me, because I know, like, dungeons is something that a lot of people do like. I personally couldn't care one way or the other. The only thing I don't get is why isn't it instanced? What's the reasoning behind that? It just seems weird to me. It seems like it's going to be privy to griefing.
PvP. Yeah. I think that they kind of want the PvP aspect in there. to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's griefing in this game, but if you really think about how open world it is and how easy it is to grief someone, the amount of griefing that's done, I feel like is not that over the top, except for when guilds kind of go too far and just are hunting a single person. Which eventually that person will be able to hire a sheriff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be alright, especially if you're down there with 3 to 5 people. It might not be that huge of an issue dealing with, people that are trying to PvP you. Most people just want to make their money and get out. So I don't know. Hopefully it's good though. Hopefully the rewards are good. Hopefully the puzzles and stuff. I want them. I hope that they understand that people don't want to be waiting around for shit. Like the waves of mobs at Altar of Blood are just way too slow, way too long. The very, very predictable like mob set and strategy that's in Savage Rift and Altar of Blood is not fun. It has no replayability. Like if you set up groups of mobs and packs of mobs with different difficulties and puzzles to get to each area, and the puzzles can actually change and it's not the identical puzzle every time, like stuff like that, I think people will play it a lot. But if it's a lot of wait time and it feels really repetitive, people probably won't do it that much. And it'll be dead content. I don't know, the style of mobs, like you could do like a simple dungeon in this game and it'd be pretty alright that just felt like you're basically like grinding mobs through a cave until you get to 3 different bosses or something. As long as the boss fight isn't complete ass, I think people would be pretty into it. Especially if you have to work with other people. I don't know. They could do stuff like, I don't know, there's some stuff that they could do. We'll see. I'm not feeling super hopeful about this being amazing, but there's a chance. Albeit a low one, but a chance.
Yeah, I mean, basically we just have to wait and see what they implement. Like usual, it's all about the implementation, right?
Yeah, I mean, they could do something as simple as, let's say if you're fighting like a dragon or a scorpion, they could do something as simple as like, because eventually all these places, people get enough gear that they just go by themselves or with 2 people. But they could have something where 2 people are imprisoned and one person has to go like cut off the tail to free the other 2 to continue the boss fight. Like stuff like that where you kind of have to work together. I think would be really cool.
They kind of already did that with the basilisk thing, right?
Yeah, but that was that was not fun to anybody. No one thought that was fun. I hope they don't think anyone thought that those were fun. But yes, they did do that, and you're right. On a technical level, they definitely did that. You had to work together, but it was really poorly implemented. Like, you should have been able to fight the Bassies and then separate to go get the statue, not just be standing next to the statue and watching your friend fight.
Yeah, it could have been a bit better.
Could have been a little better. Terror of the Sea. So this is the one, this to me is one of the most interesting announcements. So Terror of the Sea is a hardcore grind spot. Monsters will become more difficult depending on how many monsters you've killed, which reminds me of like something like a tower climb in games or greater rifts in Diablo. Some ideas for this area are that monsters will hit harder, random bombardments will appear, or elite monsters will suddenly appear. You can leave the grind zone with whatever loot you pick up, but if you die, you will only be able to keep half of the loot you obtained. There are plans to add a 2-week or 1 month time restriction on re-entering the grind zone if you were killed or left voluntarily. That shit sounds kind of hype. Like, I like the idea of you go through it, it gets harder and harder and harder, and you have to decide, like, are you at the point where now it's too hard and you're going to die? Or it's worth going on, like losing half your shit. Doesn't mention if you can log out in that spot. It kind of sounds like you can. Unless you leave. But either way, I don't know. It might be like, I don't know if you'd want to log out in that spot. Maybe not, but I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think like it's kind of this is a concept that a lot of other games kind of have, right? They kind of like decide when you like stop whenever it gets too difficult and you get rewards, but if you lose the rewards. I feel like it's usually done pretty well. It's a pretty simple thing to do, and it's usually like really fun. So I'm down for it, honestly. I hope that it starts like really. I hope they don't set the entry too high. Honestly, I hope it starts like super fucking easy, and then it gets like really hard from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just hope that. Yes, I just hope that the easy parts you can literally blow through it if you've done it before, and not have to sit there and wait for spawns like Ultra Blood. Again, that's kind of like my big thing.
Well, this sounds like this doesn't sound like a wave thing. This sounds more like a. I don't know. This didn't sound like a wave thing to me. I don't know. Maybe it did to you.
Dude, they could do it
But-
really simple too. It could literally be like a cave that's just a circle, and you go through the rotation, and every time you clear the rotation, like it gets harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really simple to do, and I think a lot better. Like for how this game is designed, that would be more fun than sitting there waiting for waves to come out.
Yeah, the waiting needs to be cut down for sure. Especially, which like I don't think. I feel like with Altar of Blood, there kind of has to be a period where you wait a little bit, but like I don't think there needs to be one in this. Like you
No.
can find ways to not have it be like you waiting. So yeah, hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't do that.
See, this and the co-op dungeon, they did not mention. These don't sound like they're tied to regions, so these might be release independent, like leading up to the region release, which I hope they do, because just waiting for new content for a whole year is going to be kind of rough for people. A year's a long time. Like Odalita came out a couple months ago now, and was it a couple months ago? Like 2 months ago, yeah.
I think so.
So it's kind of, I don't know. A year's a long time. All right, moving on. I'm tower. I'm hyped for towers though. I like tower climb kind of shit. Terror of the Sea too. It's an interesting name. I wonder where that and where this oh, I guess the co-op dungeon's located in Ancient Stone Chamber. I wonder where the tower dungeon's going to be located. Did they mention that? I don't remember if they did.
Why do I feel like they said something about being in the ocean?
Because it's called Terror of the Sea.
No, like specifically though, like the fucking what's it called? The ocean grind spot. What's that place called? Help me.
Sacrea?
I don't. Yes. I don't grind there. I don't know what it's called. Yeah.
You'll get there one day.
And like they had like a screenshot and it kind of looked like Sacrea to me a little bit too.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the Blackstar raid and the enhancement mats, I guess. Just kind of combined. So they announced that they're working on a Blackstar raid and that it's not done at all. I don't think, did they mention it here? They don't even mention it here, do they? The Blackstar raid, they described it as kind of like a platform where you fight the giant rock that's at Star's End, the giant stone that's up in the sky, and that their original development of it was kind of too hard, but that there's going to be mechanics so you can go up and actually hit it, and it'll be like a raid that requires a lot of people. And it'll drop the Blackstar enhancement mats that are basically, they have now officially like compared the Blackstar enhancement mats to Caphras stones. So they're probably going to be very similar to Caphras stones, but for Blackstar gear. And specifically for defensive gear. So one, I don't know, does the raid, I mean the raid was so vague, so I don't know. Is there anything about the raid you want to talk about? Were you interested in the raid?
I like that they're trying to do like more mechanic stuff. That's good. More mechanics is good, I think, personally. So, yeah, I don't know. We kind of just gotta wait, right?
Desyncy
See how it
platforms,
turns out.
dude. Getting desynced and falling on platforms is gonna be hype. But the Blackstar enhancement mats. Oh, I went past it. Is it actually on here? Oh yeah, Blackstar raid. It is here. New world boss is planned to be added to Star's End. Once the boss spawns, platforms will appear around the mysterious meteorite hovering above Star's End. Adventurers will have to get high enough to deal attacks to the meteorite. However, after some testing, developers found this made the difficulty quite high and are currently working on the change of layout of the boss fight. Gimmicky features are being added to the encounter to allow adventurers to hit the meteorite and spawn incarnations of corruption. Players will need to take up different roles and work together to defeat the new world boss. Rewards for the boss will be materials needed to improve Blackstar gear. There you go.
And apparently this makes me like 5-head from what you and everybody else has been saying.
This sort of makes you a little bit 5-head. So the way they described the Blackstar enhancement mats were kind of interesting. So this is their like little breakdown. More enhancement stages will be added to Blackstar defense gear. The stages between Try and Pen, similar to Caphras levels, to help bridge the gap and make Pen more accessible. The materials needed to upgrade your Blackstar gear will mainly come from the Hadoom grind spot and then also that Blackstar raid. For players who have not read the Global Lab notes, Hadoom servers are, you guys know the Hadoom server. So the Hadoom server that has like the rework of all the grind spots. Developers noted that they don't want boss gear to become invaluable. That's just poor choice of words. They don't want invaluables like
the opposite of the word they were looking for.
Yeah, positive way of saying what they're trying to say. They don't want the boss gear to become valueless and will be implementing appropriate stat increases when upgrading Blackstar gear. And then Caphras stones will be added as a basic reward for some PvP content to help meet demand on the market. So basically you're going to be able to enhance. Now, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but it sounds like you're going to be able to get minor stat boosts by throwing in this Blackstar enhancement material into your Blackstar armor. And they specifically said defense gear only. And then potentially if you put enough of it in, you'll be able to upgrade to the next level. So that way Pen is more accessible. Which I think is actually kind of insane. And actually really, really cool. Stormbringer Coranda just spawned in EU. Heads up, if you're in EU, Stormbringer's up. Go get your box. Dude, by the way, speaking of Stormbringer real quick, Rez, I got yesterday, 2 days ago, I fought Stormbringer Coranda and got her special box or whatever. And then yesterday I fought her and I got her special box again and a Coranda's Heart.
Hey.
Coranda's Heart's valueless. I'm probably going to turn it into masses, but it's still kind of cool.
How many masses does it turn into?
I think it gives 20. If I remember
that's
correct.
pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. So yeah. Sorry, back to this. So your Blackstar gear, because you've decided, you're one of the only people who's decided, one of the few, not one of the only. There's a few people that have done it that have decided they're just going to enhance Blackstar gear for their full set. Because Blackstar, in fairness, is a little bit easier to get to Tet than an armor is to get to Pen, right? And you get a lot of stats from it. Plus, there's set bonuses and so on and so forth. But now you're going to be able to actually, like, Caphras it up, it sounds like. So, you must be kind of hyped for this. That your path you chose was a wise one.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I don't know.
It doesn't change the fact that you going for 2 separate sets is stupid. You should just get Blackstar armor for both your classes and just tag, but yeah.
Nah.
The other way is literally just a waste of silver. But yeah, I think it's kind of an interesting thing. I wonder if any of the mats will do anything to Dead God armor. I assume it won't, because it won't really make sense. The other thing I wonder is if the Blackstar enhancement gear is going to be sellable. or tradable? Am I going to be able to grind on the Hadoom server even if I don't use Blackstar gear myself and sell the Blackstar enhancement materials?
That'd be kind of weird if he couldn't. I feel like they kind of have to.
Yeah. True. I don't know. That's a cool thing too, and it's gonna make a Doom server worth fighting over, and people are going to be fighting over those spots for sure. Let's see. Did we miss anything else? Co-op dungeon, new content, raid. I guess we could talk about the rewards. Let me see if I have this list down right. We got kind of, I mean, I don't have, this isn't everything, but this is stuff we're getting on December 16th. Also, yesterday, if you logged in, you got a free horse, like 20 artisans, and something else. We also got that free ice dragon pet the other day as well, which is a tier 4 dragon. So if you have that egg plus like a Y-tab reward, you combine it and you have an ice dragon. Tier 4. Pretty cool. But on the 16th, they had like this Black Spirit dice game that they did live on the stream. And it just gave us a bunch of rewards. So here are some of the things that we are getting. Hold on, let me see. So in total, they also mentioned we're getting 1,000 cron stones and 300 Caphras stones. If you're on console, you're getting 300 extra cron stones. Congrats. So
instead of 300 Caphras.
Yeah, so in total, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, so correct me if I'm wrong, but we're getting about 13, I'm just going to say about, so that way I'm not technically wrong. We're getting about 1,300 cron stones, about 300 Caphras stones, a 40 stack, a 60 stack, an 80 stack, some 530% scrolls, some 300% scrolls, a 300% hot time combat EXP buff, and 50% skill EXP buff for the next 2 weeks. And they give us 2 of these hammers. Do I have it on this character? I think I do. They gave us 2 of these hammers called Jay's Hammer of Loyalty that act basically as a cron protection attempt on anything you want. So, provided it's not an accessory on any armor or weapon. So like on a pen Blackstar attempt, that's normally like 3,600 cron stones. You can use this to protect a pen Blackstar attempt or pen whatever you want. And then let's see. They gave us those.
J scrolls.
They're giving us J scrolls. I think it was 5 J scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
A fine accessory box.
10 Shakatu seals.
10 Shakatu seals. They're also giving us 120 mil, basically, or like 1.224 mil in gold bars. And am I missing anything? I think that's it.
No, I think that's everything.
Yeah, I mentioned the hammers.
A Tungrad box.
That was the box, the Tungrad box. Tungrad box. All right.
Well, we're getting a fine accessory box and a Tungrad box.
Right. That box that's like a green looking gift, right?
Yeah.
So kind of a lot of shit. Kind of a lot of shit.
Yeah, there was like a statement that someone linked to us where they said like, oh, we accidentally skipped over the Shakatu seals that we were supposed to land on because the guy counted wrong. So we're gonna send you guys these 2.
He accidentally gave us the 80 stack instead of the 10 Shikatsu seals, but
yeah, because he miscounted.
Yeah, but instead we're getting both. So let's go. What are you using your hammers on? Your hammer of loyalty, protection, whatever.
I don't know. Part of me wants to just hold on to it for like Dead God down the road, but another part of me is like, dude, pin Blackstar, just fucking go for it.
Yeah. 2
free pin Blackstar attempts. I don't have a stack high enough to warrant that, though. I'd have to get a high-ass stack before I attempted that.
See, I'm kind of hyped because I've been doing pen attempts on a Griffin Helm, and I have a 180 and a 182 stack from it. So those are getting pretty up there. I'm going to keep pushing them until like 200, but I'm probably I know people probably don't think it's worth it, but once I have the Griffin Helm, if I get my Dead God to try, I'll be able to hit another bracket. I'll be 377 DP, which is kind of wild. So I think I'm going to use the hammers on Dead God, on try Dead God attempt, but I don't know. Yeah, the hammers expire at the end of March, so you do have to use them. You can't use them until this next maintenance, I think.
Yeah.
And then they expire March 31st, 2021 during maintenance. Yeah, I might hold them for a while because, I mean, the thing is, like, it's just basically crons, but it's like a lot of crons. Like, one of the reasons why you might not want to use it on a Dead God is that try Dead God really only costs, it's like 2,100 cron stones or 2,400 cron stones, whereas like a pen Blackstar is like 3,500. So you're just getting way more value out of the attempt. But
yeah, but isn't it much more likely to get try Dead God than to get pen Blackstar?
So even on like my 80 stack or my 180 stack, try Dead God is like, it's like a 9.5% chance, whereas pen Blackstar on 180 is low. It's like 4% or something. And no, hammers, I do not believe hammers increase your stack, and you still lose durability. I'm pretty sure all the same rules of cronning apply. Basically. The other thing I know a lot of people are hoping is that we get the Awakening Blackstar weapon. Going for pen on that twice for free would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because that's probably going to cost even more than the Blackstar main hand. It's a cron. Yeah, so those were the rewards. Here's a couple like little things if I could try to remember off the top of my head. One, they mentioned that tier 10 Doom and Unicorn are in the works. They showed a sample video of a unicorn sprinting on water. What were your thoughts on that, Rez?
And turn strikes again.
They said you won't be able to go all the way to like Port Rat or anything like that, but you'll be able to run for a short time on water. Just kind of interesting, I guess. I'm trying to think of places where that's actually beneficial. I guess in Node Wars and stuff it'd be nice, but most of the stuff, water's not really a main part of the map, right?
I'd still rather have a Pegasus.
Yeah, I guess it depends how far you can go. Like, if I could go all the way to Secrea, like just island hop on my unicorn all the way to Secrea would be kind of nice. Just depends how far they let you go. I'm trying to see if there's anything here that was big. Oh yeah, they did hint at a new class. Even though they showed off a class already. This is a teaser image for a new class where it kind of shows it's like a sunset with two rocky mountains and a character is floating in the middle of it with looks like a cloak or something. And some smoke around it.
People keep saying that that's Hapu class teaser. Why? Do you know why people keep saying that? I think even on Foundry they say like Papu.
I don't know. I
don't remember them saying it was Papu. I just remember them saying new class. But it was like fucking 5 a.m. So I was tired as fuck.
They said that Papu, no, separately. They didn't say this was a Papu class on Foundry. On Foundry, they say separately. They said that a dwarf / Papu type class will be like looked at, but they can't promise anything.
Okay.
I don't know what the class is going to be, but it kind of looks like what's it called? That like the Port Rat kind of looking style building up in the top right.
Mail on?
Yeah, so maybe it'll be something close to like Musa Mewa or Lon, or something like within their like world or where they're from. It's kind of interesting. They do like these teasers, dude. They're fans of these teasers. It's not fire or lava, right? I guess there is magma. There's some magma splashing up here. I thought it was just smoke in the sunset, but it looks like, I don't know what these sparks are, but they kind of look like fire or magma. And this does look like molten rock, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be a dragon class, dude.
I have no idea, honestly. I really couldn't make out much from that teaser image.
All right, and then lastly, some large news. Let me see if I can find the official post on it so we can talk about this. I guess Nyashi's not going to be joining us. He's probably still stuck at the doctor. All right. Here we go. Here's the fact for it. Greetings, adventurers. This is from GM Yukimura. Since its launch in March 2016, it's been our privilege to share your adventures in Black Desert Online, but it is now time for Kakao Games' part in this to come to an end. As of February 24th, 2021, Kakao Games will cease service and will become the responsibility of the developers Pearl Abyss. Many great memories have been forged over the last 5 years, and we have the utmost confidence that more will be created as the service continues under their management. The finer details of the handover are still being established, so we will be sure to keep you informed on the process as the final date draws closer. We can already inform you that in order to comply with the data protection practices, there will be an opt-in process to have your game data transferred that will begin on January 27th, 2021. Exact details will be announced soon, but this will be mandatory if you wish to continue playing the game. Be assured that we are fully committed to a smooth transition with as little disruption to you as possible, and your enjoyment and progress in the game will be unaffected. For now, nothing will change immediately. The game will be updated as new content gets added. We will continue striving to make your experience of Black Desert Online the best it can be. And then they have a frequently asked page. They say keep an eye out for news. It's been an amazing journey and one that we are extremely proud to have been a part of over the last 5 years, but now we look forward to the next chapter in Black Desert Online, sharing our own journey with you in the future Kakao Games titles. So I guess what are your initial thoughts on this, Rez?
Well, first, can we talk about how they announced this? Because that shit was hilarious. So the guy comes out on stage and basically says, "I know that this has already been leaked, but we just wanted to make the official announcement here today. Yada yada yada. We're swapping to our, publishing our own game in the other regions." And then he said something. I believe his exact words was, "For 5 years, Kakao has published our game in the West, and for 5 years they have done their best." It came out so like VM.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Our Merv's Palette is about to go bye-bye. That's about to become a new monthly subscription that you're gonna have to buy for $10. So look forward to that.
Is that how much it is on other servers? $10 for Merv's Palette?
That's how much it is for us, baby.
Oh, is it?
Probably.
I guess I never even looked at it.
I'm saying that's how much it's gonna be. I don't know.
Someone asked me the question. I didn't know. I actually didn't know how to answer it, and maybe my answer is selfish. So I'm kind of curious what you think. What would you rather be in the value pack? A daily loot scroll or the Merv's Palette?
Merv's Palette.
Yeah, I think so too.
Easily Merv's Palette, because the alternative to Merv's Palette is the fucking horrific die system.
It's so bad. The die system is so bad.
It's awful. It's awful.
We don't even have that in
So
SA.
I don't know.
Yeah. It was just a question because I know KR has the daily scroll. But I feel like the thing is they give us, like, KR does not get as many free loot scrolls as we get. Even though they do get one every day, they don't get, like, they give us loot scrolls like candy constantly. Like, they give us a ton of loot scrolls. And so they're just giving it to us in a different way. Whereas the Merv's Palette is like, I don't know, man. Like, kind of customizing your character and its color is a huge deal. And I don't want to have to pay $10 a month for that. Or whatever it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame. I mean, every time they give us an advanced loot scroll for those streamer codes, that's basically 2 loot scrolls. Since you can split them. So do you think overall this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for Black Desert Online in North America and EU?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing, is anyone who says they know is kind of a liar, because we don't know. I mean, I know other regions have swapped from their individual publishers to Kakao, and we're not happy with the results, but we'll just have to find out.
Pearl Abyss.
Yeah, sorry, what did I say?
Well, some of them, hold on, let me see if I could find this post, because there were some people that talked about it, and I don't know if, hold on, let me see if I could find it. There were some people from other countries that said, they kind of shared their opinion on it. Let me see if I could find it, though. Fuck. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I don't know. Let me. If I can find some of these like official opinions, I'll let you know. But it was like some of the people that had to deal with it in other regions. That it was like some of them. I saw someone from Russia was saying that obviously the transition was rough because there was a bunch of like, there's like a dispute between the two companies and stuff. But that, and then at first people really didn't like Pearl Abyss, but overall the game's been in a lot healthier state ever since Pearl Abyss took over. So stuff like that. It just depends. I just think people don't. I think that Kakao gets a little bit of a bad rap when I actually do think that they're a pretty decent publisher. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like who publishes other MMOs. Like I was talking about this with our friend Bear, where he was saying like people like, oh, this is gonna be so good. Kakao is shit. And then it's like, but what are the other alternatives? Like en masse, like some of these other publishers, like I hear nothing but horrible things about publishers constantly. And I just feel like Kakao a lot of the time gets the blame for things that Pearl Abyss does. So I don't know that Kakao is actually that bad of a publisher. I almost feel like a lot of the times they were trying to help us out, in some ways.
Yeah. I also think Kakao ultimately did a pretty decent job. I honestly think it was Kakao that like fought against pay to win in our version of the game, which obviously like they've thoroughly lost that war at this point. But like I don't think it was really PA that was like, oh yes, NAEU doesn't like pay to win, so we shouldn't put it into our game. I really feel like that was Kakao telling Pearl Abyss, hey, listen, our version of the game for NAEU, the players aren't going to like it if you put a bunch of the KR pay to win stuff in the game, so we need to not have that. And then, as time went on, they slowly added more and more and more. So, not that it mattered, but I think Kakao did a pretty decent job overall, at least decent. And yeah, publishers, I feel like publishers are awful. Because I feel like the issue with publishers is they kind of get in the way of giving you what the game is supposed to be. Like what the developers intend it to be. It's like adding a middleman. It's just kind of like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Bob is saying on other servers that value packs are not listable in the marketplace.
That would be interesting.
Oh my god, your background.
Yeah, in case anyone was wondering, the Saints are playing, so that's what you're hearing.
I don't know. Is there anyone in SEA or Russia that can confirm, or South America? Are you guys not able to list value packs on the marketplace for silver? Granted, on NAEU, it's really hard to get value packs on the marketplace just because it's there's just thousands of orders and it's not a cost-effective thing to list compared to other items. Chasm, I was asking, can you list value pack on the marketplace? Like, if you buy a value pack, can you list it? You can't list it in SEA? Yeah. SA was published by Red Fox, but now they're published by Pearl Abyss. And Chasm is saying that you can list them in South America, so it sounds like it's just a SEA thing. Oh, SA is still Red Fox? I thought they swapped. Or no, didn't they announce that the contract is coming to an end? Or something? I can't remember. I don't know. Reslar, shut the fuck up, Fiorin says. It sounds like they're ringing like an Arby's bell in the background. Do they have a bell, like a celebratory bell?
It's a cowbell, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Reslar's family's grinding Toros IRL.
Red Fox. Yeah, I've always heard Red Fox is awful.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think that I'm more concerned than I am positive, at least about our Pearl shop and about our ticket system. I actually do think that the GMs and CMs did a fairly decent job responding to tickets, giving us crystals back. I don't know, do you get crystals back in KR? I would be surprised if you do. Yeah, I don't know. Red Fox is in North America? We're Kakao over here. Yeah, I don't know.
They may mean that it's a North American company. Maybe.
The other thing that's going to be interesting is the server. So if they're transferring our data, it means they have their own server center. Right now the rumor is that the server center is in Los Angeles. So not in San Jose. But I do wonder
Put it in fucking Chicago. I don't understand.
No, don't put it in Chicago. Leave it over here. And then I wonder though if the quality is going to be different. Because like remember Nyashi was saying, and some people agree with him, that when they first swapped their server lease, that the server quality felt pretty good for a while and then it just like deteriorated over time. So I'm wondering if it's going to be better on this new server. Less desyncy maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Only one way to find out.
Yeah. I'm just like, there can't be that many things happening in the game. What's going on, dude? Dude, it's kind of a huge change, man. Like, this is a big change. And it could turn a lot of people off if the reputation is rough with PA, like early on. If they come out and they're kind of assholes, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, all I know, all I could say is like in fucking in Eve, Pearl Abyss took over Eve. I don't know if you know that or not. Eve Online.
Yeah.
Spaceship game. So, Pearl Abyss took that over, and I know a lot of people complained that the game became like way more pay to win than it was before, whenever they first took it over. But I have a friend who played Eve like since launch, and he still occasionally plays it to date. And he said overall, it ended up being like fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Should I run through some of this fact? It's like fairly short.
Yeah.
So they say, what is happening? On February 24th, they're handing over publishing responsibilities to Pearl Abyss. What does this mean? Also, by the way, I know I only talked about NA, but EU also is probably going to get different servers as well. So, and I know a lot of people in EU complain a lot about the server quality out there. So there's a chance. There's a chance it gets better. Like maybe it won't be closer to where you are, but there's a chance that the quality is better. At least a chance. I think EU servers might actually be worse in quality than NA. Because people with low ping in EU also complain about like that it's very laggy. So who knows? servers are probably the same. Well, the place that they're in are probably the same. But if they're going to make you guys transfer over, it's likely going to be different servers. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the same. That'd be weird. I was like looking into it. Bear and I were like looking into it, and generally they put when there's a transfer in publishers that they almost always change servers. It's like rare to just use the exact same servers. So I don't know. I have to do more research on that. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But anyway, what does this mean? Kakao Games will no longer be responsible for or involved with the live operation of Black Desert Online. This will solely be managed by Pearl Abyss. What will change? Any platform run by Kakao Games, such as the current website, official forums, social media channels, will likely be closed down or repurposed along with the current player support process. Game localization, customer support, and all other publishing responsibilities will be handled directly by Pearl Abyss. What will happen to my account? Your account will remain unaffected as long as you request an account transfer. The exact process of account transfer is still being determined. That's what they talked about is going to happen in January 20-something. Who's eligible for the transfer? Any full account that is in good standing can opt into the data transfer. If your account is permanently banned for any reason, you will not be able to transfer it. RIP barcode. I'm on Steam. Is anything... I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Dude,
I'm going to have drama. I didn't mean that.
Down. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm on Steam. Is anything different for me? Whether you are playing through Steam or create an account directly from the website, the same opportunity for an account transfer will be provided. What happens now? For now, it's business as usual. The operation service will continue without change as we work on the handover in the background. We will still be updating the content, same as before, and in partnership with the developers, keep the game fresh and exciting over the next few months. Will I be able to transfer between regions? Unfortunately, it is in general not possible to switch from one region to another. This technical restriction continues to apply during the transfer process. Will I lose access to my support tickets? Kakao is going to handle support tickets basically all the way up until they're no longer in charge. Your support history will be maintained in accordance with the policy. However, data will not be transferred to Pearl Abyss, so they will not be able to use that as a reference for future tickets that you make. What happens to my currently open tickets? All tickets submitted to Kakao will be answered by Kakao Games. Please understand that we may not be able to process it to assist with game-related issues after the migration date. And then, who do I contact if I have issues with the account migration? If your issue relates to the process of data transfer, then you should contact Kakao Games. If the process has been completed but you encounter further issues, then you should contact the new publisher. We'll continue to work alongside Pearl Abyss to ensure a smooth transition. Will the prices for game packages and Pearl Shop items remain the same? This will be determined by Pearl Abyss, so keep an eye out on their platforms for further information. That's a no.
The fact that they included that, yeah, that's a solid no, my guy.
Yeah, that's a hard no. What will happen to my Kakao Cash and Pearls? Your Pearls will carry over with you to the new service. Any unspent Kakao Cash will be converted to Pearls prior to migration. The exact date is yet to be determined. What about banned accounts? We already know. Will there be changes to terms of use and privacy? Probably. They'll have their own. Will the server be inaccessible during the transfer? Well, it's possible there will be downtime. All parties are committed to minimizing any interruption. Yeah, there will probably be like a maintenance that's long, and that's about it. If I had to guess, it'll just be like a long maintenance. What happens to unclaimed rewards and mails? All that's going to remain intact. I have activated discount coupons in the Pearl Shop that I have not yet used. Will I be able to use them after the transfer? Any unclaimed rewards and coupons will move to the new service alongside everything else on your account. Will player support policies change? They don't know. It's going to be based on Pearl Abyss's policies. Inactive accounts. Inactive accounts will probably not going to have their data transferred. So if you have friends that plan to come back to the game, you got to let them know before that transfer date is over. Well, the transfer date's starting like at the end of January, and it's probably going to last all the way until the actual migration, so like a full month. And I assume they're going to be blasting everyone with emails. But yeah, if you have a friend that hasn't logged in, you don't want them to lose all their stuff. You probably want to make them transfer.
If you have alt accounts like I do, you gotta do this on. I gotta do this on all 3 of my accounts.
Yeah. Does this mean the name resets? No. All of the names, your names and your account names and family names and stuff will all remain the same and intact.
No, I think he's saying if someone doesn't do the account transfer, who's like doesn't play the game anymore, does their name become available?
Oh, I assume it would, right? I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, if it's just not on the server. Yeah, for those inactive accounts, yeah, you might be able to get some new names. Look at that, dude. You'll be able to get the name Nova. You know the person who made Nova doesn't play anymore. Let's see. Will there be any end of service events? You can rest assured that we'll send you off with a bang. You know, it'd be funny is like as a thanks for all your service, we've given everyone $100,000 in pearls. Fuck you, Pearl Abyss.
we've given everyone full pen C20 box armor and weapons.
Will I lose my Twitch linked status with BDO? Yes. If Twitch drops, continue under the management of Pearl Abyss, you will have to relink your account. I wonder if the partner program, like the partner programs, is gone then, right? I assume.
Yeah, I'm assuming that'll be part of the transfer. Is that they'll like, you know, PA will be like, all right, who's the partners that you guys have, and then they'll like try and get in touch with them or something. I would assume anyway, because KR has a partner thing. I assume, don't they? Do they not? I feel like they do.
I mean, they might. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, so there's that. You're telling me if someone is taking a break from the game, isn't keeping up with the game, didn't see the Calpheon ball, they're going to lose their account? No. I mean, you're literally going to have all of January and February to account transfer, and they're going to send out emails to everyone's account, like for sure. I know this because it's happening in Terra right now, and I've gotten like 70 emails. That's like, it's still happening. Last minute, it's going to happen. You're running out of time. Like, you need to transfer soon. It's almost too late. So, whether you watch the Calpheon ball or not, anyone who has an account is going to receive emails from that account, notifications saying they need to transfer. And hopefully, if your friends have those emails sent straight to spam, hopefully you get your friends to log in. But yeah, there's a chance they lose everything if they don't interact with BDO at all for the next 3 months. But there's kind of a lot of ramping up. There's a couple months before it happens, so we'll see. Partnered content creators and SEA get free value pack cam and Old Moon every month. Ooh, that sounds nice.
What the fuck, dude? Hold on, I want to be a fucking partner SEA. What the hell?
But no Merv's palette, huh?
Oh, Merv's palette, dude. I just know they're gonna sell that shit as like a monthly thing alongside Kama and Old Moon Book. I can see it. I can fucking see it. And I'm gonna be real with you. If that does happen, that might be my breaking point. Because I can't walk around. If you can buy it on the market, then sure. But if you can't buy it on the market and it becomes a monthly thing that I have to purchase separately of the fucking value pack, I don't know about that, fam. This
do you think
that might be it?
Like Jax is pointing out, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to revolt if they take the Merv's palette. You think there will be enough complaints that they'll be forced to leave it in?
No, bro. We can't even get them to nerf Suck Wizard. You think they're gonna fucking? You think they're gonna give a shit about us whining about no Merv's palette? There's literally a class in the game that is basically breaking the entire fucking game, like the game's balance, single-handedly, and they're not changing a thing about it. You think they're gonna give a fuck?
I mean, if people stop paying, they will.
No, but people won't stop playing. Won't stop paying. That's the thing.
Well,
because people in this game have Stockholm syndrome.
You remember when the value pack came out? People stopped playing for a while there. It hurt the game a lot.
And here we are, nonetheless.
Well, they made changes after that, you know? Like leaving the value pack, a great deal. I mean, the game has changed. It's a different player base now, but it affected them for sure. I don't know. We'll see. I think EUNA complains a lot compared to a lot of other. We'll see what happens. People are going to be pretty pissed about the Merv's palette. I did want to talk about real quick because you mentioned WizWitch. I forgot to note this, but they mentioned when they were talking about class balance, there was a few things that they mentioned, and they said that so here, I can't believe I forgot all these because some of these are huge and like some of the things I'm most excited about. They're going to be adding a new awakening ability to every awakening class. What are your thoughts on that?
Cool.
They also said that they're looking into doing core skills for succession.
Now that I don't get. Because wasn't the whole point of core skills to give Awakening like a leg up against Succession? Was that not the entire point of core skills from the very beginning? Like, hey, Succession's kind of weak. What do we do with Awakening to kind of try and put it on the same level? Well, we'll give it another protected CC with core skills. And now they're like, hey, you know what Succession needs? Another protected CC. Is that not weird?
Well,
Am I wrong?
no, you're not.
Am
You're
I
not.
misremembering?
You're not wrong, but I do wonder if because it already has protected CCs, if it's going to be something that you can change, like you can take off and put it on something else. You know what I mean? Since Awakening had no protected CCs, that wasn't really a thing that they could do. But in Suck, it kind of does. So maybe, like Tendon Cutter, for example, is one of the skills that you can level up, and it seems like all the core skills are only the ones that you can actually level up that have like up to like 3 or 4 different levels. So I'm wondering if something like Tendon Cutter, it's like that's going to be the default, but if you want to change the core skill, you lose the CC off Tendon Cutter and you could put it on something else. Maybe. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but maybe. Yeah, it's kind of weird because Wizard has so many protected CCs. I don't even know.
Yeah. Essentially what they're saying is, which they also said another thing, they said that, oh, we're not gonna nerf things anymore. We're only gonna buff things.
Yeah.
They didn't say suck Wizard, but they said something along the lines of, we know players are upset with the state of balance in the game right now, but we don't want to nerf things. We don't want to buff things. Yada yada yada. Whole bunch of bullshit.
Well, they said that's what the other thing I was going to ask you. So they said there's a lot of feedback that certain classes are OP. Pearl Abyss said that it's important to recognize how players feel as well and will be buffing classes instead of nerfing. However, in some cases, classes may need to be nerfed due to the way they perform in Node War and Siege, where there are different mechanisms. So they kind of like are preparing you for that PA nerf while telling you, but generally they're going to be buffing classes and not nerfing. Nerfing will be kept to a minimum as they continue to balance classes.
The thing is, I don't even see PA being removed as a nerf necessarily. I just see it as a goddamn it's a game changing thing. It's not just a class getting nerfed. It's not like changing the values on a skill's damage. That literally is gonna change the game as we know it. You know? It's like such a huge thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a strange thing. I think the core skills I'm a little surprised by. The awakening skills I'm actually fine with. If there's there are definitely awakening classes that feel stronger than their succession counterparts, and they showed that little graph. I kind of like addressed that they're aware of that and they're trying to make them as evenly played as possible. And you know, I don't know. I don't think because some of the classes are stronger that we shouldn't get a new awakening skill, to be honest. Like, I think that's kind of a lame reason not to do it. Because some of the classes aren't stronger. And some of the classes like Awakening Kuno have somewhere between 3 and 4 usable abilities in the entire awakening kit, and the rest is just pre-awakening. So it's like, I don't know. Like, it's funny because I think in total, the total number of skills on Awakening, like Kuno, for example, is more, like with Awakening plus pre-awakening, but the total number of usable skills is more on Succession. It's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know. But for some classes like Warrior, where they kind of use their whole kit, it's a little bit different. But I don't know. It's not the worst thing. Whatever. If Warrior gets another new skill, is it gonna be a skill that's just outright better than the rest of their kit that they're gonna be using it now? Everyone's gonna be afraid. I don't think so. You know. I mean, also look at. While I'm really excited that there's going to be a new skill for every single class, I saw what they did with the recent Raboms, and they did not make any powerful skills. So the awakening skills
Yeah,
could
their
all
bombs are kind of lacking.
Yeah, the awakening skills could all just be garbage. Sadly. They also mentioned elevation and frame rate. So the elevation problems, they said will hopefully be coming, let's see, a fix to elevation problems will hopefully be coming as early as next week. These are issues that arise with classes like Ranger and Wizards where they're able to hit where they're able to hit players on another or on a different elevation. The process has been difficult for them to change and require them to rework the structure of action mechanics. You like what?
I love the fact that they said we're gonna try not to nerf things anymore, and then immediately like we're gonna try to fix excessive frame rate. Cries in Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude, poor Warriors.
I get asked this a lot. Bay Crolls is asking in chat, Frosty, do you think they should keep making new classes? I feel like we already have more than enough. I think yes, they should continue to keep making classes because I don't know, the fact that Archer and Lawn and Guardian are in the game I don't know. I don't think it's like a negative thing overall. There's more variety. People re-roll a lot. It keeps the game feeling fresh if you can keep rolling to new classes. So I personally don't have any problem with it. I mean, shit, you have like in a game that actually is an esport where balance is actually important, like League, they add like 5 classes every year and it's fine. So for me personally, I don't think they should stop making new classes. I think adding 1 to 2 classes every year is fine. What about you, Rez? Do you think there's too many classes and then you stop making more?
Nah, I think it's fine.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the overall downsides of adding new classes. It's like, everyone says like, oh, balancing is too hard, but it's like, I don't know. Back when we had 5 classes, Sork and Ranger dominated everything and they couldn't figure out the balance, so I think it's fine. The balance is always going to not be that good. I don't think balance complaints should change the fact that they're adding things that are fun to the game, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I like balance. I don't know. Things will never be balanced. Like we can only try to achieve it, and the fact that things aren't balanced should not be a reason to not have something. Doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Dude, it's also like when I look at other new games, so I'm excited for Elion, but the fact that there's only 5 classes is like, it just feels like it can't really be. There's no like individualism at all. When you know you're going to be the same class as 20% of the player base. Whereas in BDO, you kind of like, there's so many different classes, you a lot of the times don't run into the same class. And in a lot of games, and BDO especially, like mirror matchups suck. So I like that it's spreading the player base out to different classes, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the main thing is that like things need to be fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. At the end of the day. So the frame rate thing, they said the frame rate issues where players with higher FPS are able to deal damage and skills faster are being looked at. One of the easy fixes would be limit all players to 60 FPS in PvP. However, this is not something they want to do and are looking to optimize frame rates as much as possible to reduce the impact they make. So basically,
they actually wrote that sentence wrong. It should have read, "This is something we've done in the past," and it somehow broke horses.
It broke horse. Yeah, it broke horse. It made riding horses RNG based. Basically, their thinking on this is they've looked into it. They haven't found a really good solution, so they're just going to try to improve everyone's frames by optimizing the game if they can. you know, by like making console players forced to play on remastered for some reason, even though their consoles can't handle it. Isn't that so weird? I can't get over that consoles are playing on like a remastered light. It's fucking weird. God. Thornwood Castle is coming after the rework to Conquest Wars, and also they did mention one of their bullet points was that 2021 they're going to be focusing heavy on PvP content. So we'll see what happens.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. So that's kind of all the BDO stuff. There's a lot of shit to unpack here. There's going to be a lot of updates over the next few weeks. The transition thing, we will do our best to keep you guys informed. And before we move on with the show, we're going to talk about Cyberpunk a little bit, and then we're going to read the comments. But I do want to mention next week we will be celebrating our 2-year anniversary as a podcast. Reslar and I, and Nyashi hopefully will be there as well if he feels better. We're going to bring some guests on the show, I believe is the plan. Some guests that have been on the show previously. Have them on and hang out with them, and I don't know, just kind of reminisce, right? On the 2 years, we'll try to do something exciting.
Let's just talk about it now, because we got to start messaging people starting tomorrow. But basically what we want to do is we just want to bring on old guests that we've had on since we started. So, you know, I guess basically just extend an invitation to anybody who's been on the show before. Get in touch with us. We're going to be getting in touch with people that we would like to have come on, you know. And obviously we don't have contact with everybody we've had on over the years, but I think I'm going to message basically almost everyone that's in the Discord. So, yeah, we'll try and make it something special. So,
yeah, I'm excited. We want you guys all there for it live. Hopefully we'll be up in time. We'll try to do it starting in the morning. Unlike today.
Instead of 3 p.m.
Just that event fucked up my sleep schedule so bad. Because the ball ended at like 3 a.m. my time-ish, but then you and I stayed on talking about stuff until like 4 my time, and then even after that, for whatever reason, I watched a StarCraft match that took like an hour. So it was a long, and then I went to sleep and I did not wake up until super late. So my sleep schedule got completely butchered by that. But yeah, next week is 2 years, man. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And we're going to do, I think the plan is, right, that we're going to do an extra long show. At least that's the idea. But we're not gonna ask people to like stick around for that long, like guests. We're basically gonna see, you know, come hang out as long as they want to, and you know, just see what happens.
Dude, 2 years is kind of long for a game that died a while back. We keep doing a podcast. It'd be fun to reminisce on all the like bullet point times when BDO got killed by like Arcade and I don't know. World of Warcraft, Classic, like all the things that ended BDO. There's a long list. But yeah, make your guests fight each other in BA. Some of the guests don't PvP. Some of the guests don't have accounts anymore.
Some of the guests would definitely be down for that, though.
Yeah, some of the guests would be super down for that. Some of the guests not so much. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It should be fun. It's cool we made it this long, Rez. I'm proud of you, dude.
I'm proud of me. I haven't done anything.
I'm proud. Dude, look. I may hate Reslar, but man, you're a stand-up guy.
The only thing I did was pick the right person to start a podcast with. I've basically just been cashing in off of your charisma.
Hey, but you also do all the editing.
Yeah, I'm more of like the, what's the word? I'm like a fucking manager, basically.
You also try to upload every week, even though you don't have internet.
Yeah.
It's so, dude, every time I'm just like, it's so funny. It's like, oh, the video crapped out on me. It'll be 24 hours for the next upload.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, I could restart it immediately, but then I'm just, like, locked out of my own goddamn computer for 6 hours. Like, sorry, it's just gonna have to wait. Can't do that. I just can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it. There have been times where I've just restarted it instantly if I have shit to do. Like, if I need to go to class for, like, a couple hours, I'm like, okay, I'll just restart it now, and then I can, like, post it and announce it whenever I get home. But, like, some days it's like, I'm gonna be home all day, and you want me to be without internet for fucking 6 hours? Jesus Christ.
Humanidai said Frosty is really bad at giving compliments. You're not wrong. I am. I'm bad. I don't know. But I appreciate Reslar and all the work that he's put into the show. And I do think that the whole positive, negative vibe is kind of works, you know? So we have something to debate about.
No, I agree. That's why, I mean, I know I've said this on the show before, so not to beat a dead horse or anything, but, like, that's the whole reason I thought the show would be interesting in the first place, is that me and you would fucking argue, sometimes for hours in Discord, over shit. Well, back in Hex. So whenever I got the idea to start a podcast, I was like, dude, what? It really, the thought process went like this: why don't we record this shit? ... Wait, we should record this shit. Like, that's literally what the thought process was.
An example is, and we have to address it just because of your reaction last week, the Pearl Shop item that lets you tag an additional one thing.
Yeah, which, by the way, we didn't talk about that, is Pearl only. It is in our game, it is Pearl only, and I am disgusted.
Did you like how they made it sound, the way they worded it made it sound like there were other options, but there's not? They said, also, you can buy the item with pearls. It's like, what do you mean also? There's not any other way to get it.
Did you like how they didn't even announce it? They hid it in the Pearl Shop update section of the game. Like, they didn't come out with an announcement like, update to the Marnie suspicious device system. That did not exist. They hid it in the fucking Pearl Shop update.
Yeah, dude.
Disgusting.
Good thing we're getting rid of Kakao and switching to PA. Am I right?
Absolutely disgusting. And here's what kills me. I'm not gonna rant about it again, but here's what kills me about, like, people's reaction to me complaining about that. If this was EA, everyone would be so fucking outraged about it. But because it's Pearl Abyss and they made a game that you like and that you still like and you still play hours a day to this day, it's not a problem. If this was EA doing this type of shit, you would lose your fucking mind. Not you specifically. The people who are, like, complaining about my freaking out. Yeah. If this was EA, you would lose your mind because EA, they're pieces of shit. It's popular to hate on them. Fucking ridiculous, the hypocrisy. If you don't think it's a big deal, don't think it's a big deal. I don't give a shit. To me, this is disgusting.
I also want to say, I forget, there's so much stuff in that event. I forgot about these costumes. Do you remember these costumes? They showed off like a...
Oh yeah, they showed off like three costumes.
The Zerker one and the Red Riding Hood one. I think the biggest twist of the event was that they said that the costume task force has been hard at work. That was like the biggest twist.
That was that was the biggest surprise. Yeah.
We're like, wait, they have been? Huh? On what? Oh, you mean the Halloween outfits and the winter outfits that we've already had?
yeah. Re-releasing the same outfits we've had for years. Yeah.
I still think that
Did you see the winter outfits though? Did you see the winter outfits? Dude,
I know. I hate this is so hypocritical because I just was hating on them, but that winter outfit is so sick. Dude, I think the winter outfit is fucking awesome.
I like it. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely not going to be like a blow you away 10 out of 10, but it's pretty good. pretty good.
It's pretty like, all right, so the male one's kind of lame. Let me just say that right off the bat.
I actually like the male one, just not the hat. Take the hat off, just give me the body. I actually kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all right, let me try to find it. It's on someone posted on Reddit. Apparently it's coming to all classes, and actually, the funny thing is it's when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's a witch and a wizard." But then I realized, like, even in their demo picture, it's actually a ranger and an archer.
What?
Yeah, that's a ranger and that's an archer in those pictures.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It is. It actually is. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. It was on Reddit.
I don't think I believe you. I don't think that's an archer.
Do you have the picture?
I'm staring at the male. Someone posted the male version of it.
Yeah.
Both versions are here in general in the Value Pack Discord.
Okay.
Just scroll up.
Here we go. I got it. Okay, so this is the female one. The female one, that's a ranger in this female picture.
I might believe that's a ranger because rangers stand like that. Mm-hmm. Archer doesn't stand like that though. I don't think.
This is an archer, dude.
Screams the way this is standing screams striker to me. Actually, looks like he's got a bit of ook in him.
This is not a striker, dude.
The arms kind of far apart. I don't know. Could be an archer. Who knows? That's definitely a ranger though, because I think only ranger stands like that.
Leafson said that's definitely an archer. Look at his pretty jaw.
Zoom in. Let me open this.
Dude, he's kind of wearing jeans. Like these are kind of jeans. Actually, they're not kind of jeans. These are jeans, dude. He's wearing jeans.
Yeah, they're jeans. Man's wearing jeans.
It's very like Eddie Mercury. Freddie. I don't know why I said Eddie. There's an F in there.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
Freddie Mercury. Dude, okay, but the female outfit, I mean, they'll probably make it look really stupid on Kuno, but this outfit, I think, is going to be so sick, dude. I always like the witch outfits, and it's sad that none of them are usable on other classes, so this is fucking hype, dude. Here's what I will say.
If that is on Archer, then hype, because Archer never gets the fucking event costumes. It's really weird. They don't put out, like, the event costumes for Archer. For some reason. Like, Crimson Knight doesn't exist on Archer. Don't know why. No reason for it, I don't think. I don't think Archer has Gravekeeper either. It might. I'm not positive about that one, but I don't think it does. But I know for a fact it doesn't have Crimson Knight, for whatever reason.
Dude, I even like the cape on the female. This outfit's sick. I can't wait for this outfit, dude. Finally a witch hat on my Kuno. Finally a witch.
What happened? What happened to your what was it? Like the mom outfit? You still have that?
Yeah. Still rock the mom.
Do you use it at all?
Yeah, I use it. It's not a mom outfit. It's just a responsible young woman outfit.
Bro, that's a mom outfit. I don't know what you're talking about.
Would look kind of dope on Nova. Just saying, dude, it would look good on Nova. But you know damn well it's not going to be available for the Nova, and the Nova's not going to get it until next winter. Yeah, no, these outfits are pretty cool. They look good. Okay, so let's talk about your favorite new game. The game that
so let's do a short section, not too long because it's already gone long enough. But Cyberpunk is out. Obviously, if you've seen or heard anything about it, it's very, very buggy. Extremely buggy. Let's not dwell too much on the bugs. How many hours have you played it?
Hold on a minute. Why can't we dwell on the bugs?
Well, we'll get to that, but I just want to talk about the actual game itself first.
I played about 3 hours, which isn't much, admittedly. But
and now I
most of my time
after 1 hour.
Most of my time has been exploring the city and finding said bugs, but I've not progressed through the story very far. I've mostly been just messing around in the city because I find it enjoyable.
Yeah. So, what is your like initial? I guess I should disclaimer. I've put 30 hours into it. Obviously, much more along
Yeah.
the story than you.
Or yeah. You actually played the game.
Yeah, I actually played the game. I'm probably gonna go play it the second this is over. What is your initial thoughts just from the 3 hours you put in? You said you like driving around and exploring.
So I think the story is cool, and I actually do think that the missions are pretty fun, and I love the universe and the vibe that it's in for sure. I just think there's a lot of things that I know people don't want it compared to GTA, but it's just the style of game that it is very, very much like GTA, the way it feels.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why some people argue with me saying like it's nothing like GTA is I think they're thinking of GTA Online. They're not thinking of GTA the single player. Like GTA the single player is what Cyberpunk is like, not like GTA Online. So, I think the world feels small compared to GTA. I think that the random events and activities aren't like super well done and feel very orchestrated. And I think, I don't know what it is. I know in these games it's very difficult to do stuff like have a pedestrian like exist in the world and persist for like long distances before they just reset and are eliminated. But in this game, it's like literally like if I pass by a pedestrian and I turn around, the pedestrian is gone. I'm like, oh man, like stuff like that. I don't know. It bothers me a little bit. I like the flying cars stuff, like the vibe of it, because it feels very like cyberpunk / futuristic. But then they like fly around in the air so jagged and glitchy that it kind of looks lame. But overall, I don't know. I don't know how to like. I actually really, even though my aim is absolutely dog shit, I love that you have to use the iron sight. I think that makes it a little bit more fun than having.
You don't have to. You can put sights on it.
Oh, can you? Well, I didn't know that. I actually enjoy using the iron sight. I think it's kind of fun.
And also, I'll let you in on a secret. Later on in the game, you can get these things called smart guns. They actually don't require you to aim.
Well, that'll actually help me a lot. I gotta get to that.
They basically you get this giant box that's like fucking like 40% of your screen, and it's like as long as your target's in this box, if you're holding the trigger, your bullets are hitting them.
Yeah, sounds kind of nice. I could get with that. But the gunplay is like fairly fun, and the progression feels fun, and like when you do a mission, you just randomly get upgrades. I love the exploring aspect of it, where there's just shit on the ground everywhere that you can pick up, which I found to be true even outside of missions. Like if you just go down random alleyways, you may run into a gun or ammo or like health packs or whatever. So I really like that kind of stuff. But overall, to me, the game it's not anywhere near like the quality of Grand Theft Auto, unfortunately.
So, again, you've only put 3 hours into it, but if you had to give it a rating right now based off of what you'd experienced, out of 10.
Am I factoring in bugs?
Yeah.
Then I give it a 5. And the reason why I give it a 5 is because it's been in development for 8 years. And I know that they do have a budget. They're not like, they have money. They're not broke. I don't know. It just feels like some of the bugs are insane. I'm just going to give one example of one of the bugs that I ran into. When I drive my car underneath a bridge, this happens to me still in the game no matter where I am. Like anytime I go under or in a tunnel, every single other vehicle, including my own, all of the people that are in the vehicles are suddenly standing upright and clipping through their roofs. And it looks really bad, and it actually like ruined, like I hate to, like I'm an RPer, but it actually like ruins the immersion for me a lot. It's just like, because it looks so bad. And I'm just like, dude, and it happens 100% of the time. Like there's no getting around it. I'll give you another example of Bear. So Bear was reluctant to get it. He's like, people are complaining about the bugs, so I'm sure it's not that bad. People are babies. So he finally got the game. He was 15 minutes in. He's out on the street, and suddenly an infinite number of trees like spawn all around him, and he can't like move. They just keep spawning. which sounds hilarious. But I'm just like, how does that happen? Like that is a crazy. That's crazy to me. But anyway, so what are so far? You played way more of the actual story. So how is the actual story, and how do you feel about the game overall?
The story is really good, really, really good. I'm a little sad that there doesn't seem to be a lot of variation, unfortunately, in terms of like your options, like in the dialogue and stuff. It's basically like someone's like, "Will you help us?" And then like choice A is yes, choice B is yes but sarcastic, and then C is like, "Here's the other option before you say yes."
Right.
It's like,
yeah, it's like an illusion of option. It's not actually an option.
yeah, and I fucking hate that so much.
I do too.
But it's like, I get why it's kind of necessary. But the story itself, like just the actual story is really good. I think, I don't know if I would put it on the same level as Witcher 3. In terms of story, I honestly think I might say it's better than Witcher 3 in terms of the story.
God. You're gonna get so much hate for saying that.
I don't like, the combat feels wank to me. I don't know what it is about it. It's just kind of weird. The shooting is kind of off. Melee is like fine, but like things don't interact.
You see
with,
that comment? He said, "How can I mute that guy? Can I pay?"
Things don't. So like in Witcher, every time you attacked someone, they reacted to it. It's weird. In this game, like, so I have mantis blades, which is like the blade arms, and it's like, you do your initial attack and they stagger, and then basically you just slice them up and they don't register you hitting them at all. And it's just a weird like QOL thing that really, like you said, not to sound like an RPer, but it really kills your immersion whenever you're slicing this guy up and he's still standing there just like but like nothing's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It really like kills the impact of what you're doing. So it's really strange. It's weird. Same thing with like punching. Like, it doesn't feel good to like combo people like it did in Witcher, because you're comboing people like 1, 2, 3, and they're not reacting to it because they're just locked in animation reacting from the first hit. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, cowbell. There we go.
So overall, the game is horrendously bugged. I haven't ran into anything game breaking yet. Mostly just visual bugs or audio bugs. God, the audio bugs are so annoying. I got this bug where you haven't done the brain dance thing, have you?
No, not yet.
So they have these brain dance sections where it's basically like you have to go through a scene like a detective and try and like detect clues as to what's going on around you, sort of thing. And I had this one where this guy gets killed at the end of it, and he's like screaming, and there's like these horrendous noises, and it's just like really fucking loud and awful. And every time I would rewind it to try and find a different clue, it would play those same fucking noises. And if I paused it, if I played it, if I fast forwarded it, if I rewound it, it didn't matter. Once that noise started, it had to finish. And I was just like, oh my god, it's so loud. So yeah, very buggy.
I've only run into one audio bug where I don't even know what caused it, but I'll crash my car. Anytime I like ram my car into stuff, buildings, other cars, there's just zero sound. There's like, I still hear the streets, I still hear the motor, but the impact has no audio. Which is kind of strange.
I crashed my bike so hard that I flew off of the bike. There wasn't like a fall animation or anything. It was just like I was standing up, and then I just landed completely upright, like in the middle of the street. And I was just like, well, okay then. Just walked back over to my bike, got on it, kept driving.
Yeah. Dude, so here's the thing. I hate to compare it to GTA 5 because I think that standard is super high, because GTA had a lot of, they learned from GTA 3 and 4 and San Andreas. But like, even though GTA 5 had a bunch of issues, like, with online when it first came out and the servers were shit, like, the single player was not buggy like that at all. Like, I don't even remember, like, I don't know, like, maybe there were some minor glitches, but I don't remember anything like what I'm seeing with Cyberpunk at all. Like, nothing at all like that with 5 or with 4, to be honest. Like, I don't know. And there was like I don't know, I think they had like a patch that fixed like a list of bugs and stuff like 2 days after it came out. And then after that, like, outside of the online thing being kind of a shit show at first, I just don't remember, I don't remember there being that many bugs. And to me, it's strange for a single player game to be that buggy. To me. I don't know. Maybe my standards are too high, but it just seems like, I don't know. The other thing is too, I don't even know what this is, if it's just like the scaling or like, does it feel like the buildings, even though they're tall, are actually small? Or is it just like the way the atmosphere feels? It feels like there's no space in that world. Like, it's all like cramped together. And I know like that's supposed to be the vibe of some of the buildings, which I get that, like when you're running around within a building. But I feel like driving around, like, once you go max speed, you like cross the entire map in like 10 seconds. It feels like. I don't know. Everything feels like it just doesn't feel that big, I guess.
Yeah, the outskirts of the city, which like this could just be because you can see farther away from you. I don't know. But like the outskirts of the city feel way bigger than like actually inside the city.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if
100%.
you've been out there
Yeah,
yet.
the
but
desert,
like in the Badlands, it's like it feels so huge and expansive.
Yeah, for sure. The desert feels like vast and massive.
I think it's because, I mean, I don't know. There could be a multitude of reasons for it, but I feel like a big part of it is that like most, if not all, of the fucking buildings in the city have nothing going on with them.
Do they not?
Like,
I thought most of the stuff was supposed to be like explorable, like you could go inside most of the buildings. Or can you not?
No, not in my experience. I mean, at one point I stopped to sell some items at like a shop because they have these little like fucking basically ATMs where you can sell things at.
Yeah.
And I noticed that there was like music coming from the building that I was next to.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh shit, this must be a building that like you can go into and check out. And then I went and the door is locked, the front door and the back door. But like there's music coming from inside of it. And it has like a little sign out front for whatever business it was. I don't fucking remember. And so I'm like, what's going on here? Like there's music, like I should be able to go in here, but there's not. And then I went back to my vehicle. And then I realized that it was just playing the radio, like one of the radio stations from inside the building to make it sound like there was stuff going on there. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of disappointing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
does Witcher feel like when you're playing The Witcher? Because I never played The Witcher. When you're playing The Witcher,
so
do you
much
feel
better.
like the world is like way more explorable?
Way more. Way more. It's so much better in terms of its open world component. The Witcher, in terms of its open world, is a million times better than Cyberpunk right now. And to be fair, Witcher was also on release. Like, people don't really like talk about this too much because Witcher ended up being such a great game. But Witcher on release was kind of fucking awful. It was horrendously optimized, just like Cyberpunk is. It was fucking buggy as all hell, just like Cyberpunk is. Like, it had a lot of the same issues, and it was after like several patches that it became like one of the best games of all time. Also, the free DLC that they came out, which they did say that they are going to do free DLC for Cyberpunk too.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, the open world aspect in Witcher was so much better. Like, you could go in almost every single building. It feels like it's been inversed, basically. Like, it felt like in Witcher, like as long as you were out in the country anyways. Once you got in the city, the ratio got fucked quite a bit. You could still go into a lot of the buildings, but not all of them. But like out in the country, you could go into like every single fucking building damn near.
Yeah.
Like actually. You could walk into people's houses while they were sleeping and just rob them and then just walk out. And they'd be none the wiser because they were just passed out in their fucking beds. Like, so much better for open world stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate to make these comparisons because I just don't play a lot of single player games, but like Red Dead Redemption feels very like vast and huge.
Yeah.
And the plane, like when you see like a plains, it's like, dude, you actually run far to get across the plains. And then like it feels like every house you can go into, but like you can't in Red Dead, but it gives you the illusion that most of them like they let you in just enough of them in Red Dead to make it feel like you are free and going into anything you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyberpunk kind of. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 does not let you go into a lot of places. Actually, it's like actually super limited when it comes to going inside buildings.
You know what I think a big part of it might be compared to GTA though? GTA has huge fucking streets.
They have
I think
huge
that's
streets.
part
Yeah.
of it.
They have
The
big
streets in Cyberpunk feel so fucking cramped.
They're
Like,
super small. It's like one lane.
This part of the city, it's like 3 lanes, and I'm like, this is A, this is not realistic, and B, this just feels so fucking like awful. It just feels bad.
Yeah. What do you think about the skill tree and the talents though? Like the shit that you can do, like your mantis arms and like the weapons and stuff. The hacking with tab.
Yeah. So I'm planning on doing a second playthrough where I go a lot more into the like intelligence and hacking.
Did you
type
beat it
stuff.
already?
No. I haven't beat it yet. I'm only like, I think if whenever you go to your like inventory, they have like a thing at the top that shows you like progression on how much Johnny is like taking over. Well, no spoilers, I suppose, but there's like bars
Right. Okay.
of like what I assume is completion. Not bars, numbers. There's like numbers of what I assume is completion. There's like 3 different ones. I don't know what they're in reference to specifically, but I'm assuming it's telling you essentially like how close to the end of the game you are, and I think I'm at like 30%. So I'm not even really close to beating the game. So yeah, but I'm planning on doing a second playthrough where I go more intelligent stuff. The trees seem interesting. I don't know. Not special though. I would say they're interesting but not special. Like it's nothing I haven't seen before, basically.
Right.
Like fucking Dead by Daylight has like the same exact system damn near. Where it's like a spider web of like, hey, you gotta get this before you get this, and you gotta get a certain level before you can get that one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a solid system, but yeah, I don't know.
So,
anyways,
do you recommend it? Like, would you recommend people buying it, or should they wait?
I would say if you like a good story, and if bugs aren't gonna take you out of said story, get it. If you either A, don't care much about story, or B, care about story but bugs will like take you out of it, don't get it. Wait for it to be patched, wait for it to be fixed, and then pick it up like on sale like next year. Because it'll be, once they fix the bugs, the story will be so good that I would recommend pretty much anybody buy it. But right now it's like the bugs are so fucking bad that it's like you can't even, I can because it doesn't bother me, but I know there's a lot of people that can't get into the story because you go through a cutscene where you're eating some ramen with your best friend and he has infinitely spawning chopsticks.
That's one of my favorite, dude, where he just suddenly has 10 pairs of chopsticks in his hand every time he eats. That shit's funny. Dude, I lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you a very important question, and now it's gone. It's too bad.
But what I will say is if you enjoy the open world aspect of Cyberpunk, dude, you have to play Witcher. Like, legitimately. You have to. Because this not only is the story, like, A tier, just like Cyberpunk is, the open world part of it is so much better. It's so much better.
Yeah.
So if you're having fun just exploring the open world in Cyberpunk, you would have a goddamn blast doing it in Witcher, honestly.
I remember what I was gonna say. I watched a video that was published 8 years ago. That was the original, or one of the original teasers for Cyberpunk. Which, by the way, the original teaser apparently came out in 2012, which is kind of crazy to think about. But it's funny because it's popping up in people's YouTube right now, you know, especially if you watch any Cyberpunk videos or anything, it's like gets recommended to you because it has so many views. But the comments in there that are recent are really funny. Like there was someone that was like just normal stuff, like I can't believe how long ago this was. That's crazy. Like someone said, when I first watched this 8 years ago, I was 8 years old, and now I have grandkids. And then someone said, holy shit, 8 years ago, when I first saw this, I was fat, and now I'm still fat. Like just these random ass comments. And then another person was like, Cyberpunk 2077. Who would have known that Cyberpunk was the name, 2077 was the release date? Shit was funny, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
yeah,
fucking one of the things that irks me the most about the game, and I know people have talked about this a lot, you can't change your fucking hair.
Oh. Like
There's
ever
no
or after
way-
the initial screen?
No. After you select what your character looks like, there's no way to change it. Which, let's talk about the fact that makes no goddamn sense. You're in the future where you have like augments. You're telling me I can't change my face if I want to? That seems a little silly, but let's go even more basic than that. There's no way to change your hair.
Well, I also
And to let you know how stupid that is, you could do that in The Witcher. You could go to barbers in cities and change your hairstyle.
In fairness, in IRL, I also can't change my hair, so.
Yeah, I mean, same, but
You know.
like,
yeah.
just simple shit like that. It's like, how did you forget? Because I'm assuming they had to have forgotten. That's just weird.
They forgot. I don't know. It's who knows. Did you want to talk about before we get to the comments, because it was dropped this week, the Crimson Desert trailer?
I haven't watched it.
You want to watch it together right now? Then you want to do a live? We'll get a
How
live
long
reaction
is
from
it?
Rezlar. It's 5 minutes.
Ugh,
It's
sure,
pretty
I
interesting.
guess.
Well, do you have to go, or you got to get out of here, or what?
I don't have to go. I feel like I'm about to die of starvation. But yeah, let's watch it.
Oh, dude, you'll be fine. You'll live. You'll live. You guys have potato chips in the house, don't you?
God knows I have enough reserves, but it's just I don't. Yeah, I feel it. It hurts.
All right. Well, what would be the best way to experience this together? Do you want to listen to it through the
I'll
stream?
just
Do you
watch
wanna-
it on your stream.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to play the audio and everything for this. So
Yeah.
here we go. This is the Crimson Desert trailer. Let me remove this so you can see clearly. Crimson Desert trailer.
Oh, my stream. Okay, hold on. You might want to stream it through Discord because I'm way behind apparently.
Oh, okay. Here, let me stream through Discord. I just don't know.
And I just why am I so far behind? I just restarted my Twitch too. The fuck?
Let me know if this works. Let me know if you hear music. Once I hear music. I don't hear music yet. Okay, now I do. Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So this is, again, according to them, this is all in-game footage. Not...
Which means it's going to be mostly cinematics from in-game footage. Because
Right.
that's what every company does.
Here we go. Rezlar's live reaction to Crimson Desert.
In-game footage. Oh, that pop-in's still there. I see it. I saw that. You couldn't hide that from me, Pearl Abyss. It looks so bad, like when you look really far off in the distance.
I think it
There's
looks
like
so
a
good.
point. There's like a point where it goes from super realistic up close to like super bad way in the back. There's like just a distinct line. It's really funny. Oh, that shot looks good. Ooh, is this this almost looks like Tariff.
It did, right? A little bit.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Tariff a little bit. Fuck is that?
Musa with the shield.
Oh, dude, oh my god, that desert looks so good.
That
Why can't our desert look like us?
I know, that doesn't
look like that.
This wind and the leaves on the ground too, dude. Ugh.
Our desert's so boring compared to that. That desert had so much character. Why
Still BDO hair, right? The hair is exactly BDO.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Actual gameplay. Wait a second. I recognize spinning slash when I see it.
Right? They got the sparks. I always like the sparks. I'm fine with the sparks.
Oh god damn. I like how there's like frame rate is so unstable.
Yeah, the frame rate's not great.
God damn. Oh, you can actually see the UI in this one.
It looks like a placeholder UI because the health bar on the bottom left is so simple. What?
He just arcaded him. Oh god damn, getting fancy. Oh Jesus Christ! Alright, found the ranger.
Found the ranger.
Oh god, puzzles? BDO players won't be able to play this. Oh my god, that frame rate is so bad. Monster Hunter?
Dude, you're gonna be able to swing and climb, dude. Blackstar sounded like he was drowning again, I know. Dude, look at this. This is what they need to do to fix Siege. Make the buildings destroyable.
Got a lightning sword now. What? You gonna fly on dragons?
I don't know, dude. I kind of hope you can, because this shit looks insane.
He made such an abrupt turn right there. That looked so bad. Hey, is that the bitch from Black Desert? The mage bitch. What's her name?
Which one?
Fucking Lesra or whatever.
Elezra, Jack says?
Yeah, there.
Dude, yeah, I'm kind of with Jax on this one. If 5% of that in-game graphics are real, I'm in. I am not kidding, dude. If even 5% of that is real, dude, I'm hyped. And I kind of like that it has, and I know you hate this comparison, but it has like the For Honor / Dark Souls style combat with a little bit of hybrid.
It's just like Dark Souls.
It's just like Dark. It has a hybrid of that and BDO. It like looks like BDO, but with more. Well, maybe more like BDO / Assassin's Creed.
It looks like they took BDO's combat and then added like the impactfulness that you need for like a successful combat in a single player game. Again, like that thing that Cyberpunk is missing from its combat. That like every hit like wallops and the enemy like feels it, and in turn you feel it. You know,
Ooh, this is our
which
first.
like is also missing from BDO because you can't really do that in BDO because it's PvP.
This is our first time on the show, but Garmoth in 13 minutes.
Jesus Christ!
I know this show's gone long. I'm sorry. Should we get started on the comments?
Yeah, let's make it quick.
All right. Get over to the Garmoth's nest. Okay.
Do you want me to? You want me to
got
go
this.
through them, or you got
I
it?
got a boss alts over there. We good, dude. I practiced reading during the event. I practiced my speed reading, dude. It was crazy, dude. I learned a lot.
And you're still that bad.
Yeah. Basically. All right, we got a lot of comments on this one. Oh,
My favorite part of the event was
do you want
that.
to scan through? Oh wait, no. Are we good? We got any baddies? Oh no, looks like we're good.
My favorite thing about the event, about you trying to read, was that for some reason my stream was like 10 seconds like behind yours on like watching the stream.
Mhm.
And so a couple times you like couldn't read it, and you're like, "What did that say? What did that say?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Go.
Okay.
Special.
So, starting off, Spec Chang says, "Keep up the good work."
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nayashi says, "Office chat is a good feature. Rezlar just isn't an officer yet." XT. True. He's talking about the in-game officer chat that we're getting. Zoe Logic says, "Imagine fighting a wizard and you have to watch out for the piss water." XD. P.S. The horse training, they are getting us ready for the revamped trading system. We're about to trade with players from other regions through some type of economic balance. I don't know about that, but they did mention during the ball that they're looking into the trading stuff because it's kind of outdated. Stretch this out so it's only the comments. Yeah, they did say they were gonna do something to make trading more interesting and or buff it, so that should be kind of cool. Yeah, Garmoth is a special guest of the podcast today. Humanidai says, "This will be a shorter episode, 2 hours, 45 minutes, 56 seconds. I guess that was a lie again."
I mean, technically, if it's under 3 hours, it is a shorter episode.
Yeah. Blarix says, "Great podcast, but is there a way you guys can upload it a bit quicker to Spotify? Usually shows up Spotify 4 days late." You're a rat, Blarix, right? Why are you trying to get me in trouble?
Frosty.
That's my bad. Usually because it gets sent to me when I'm doing something and then I completely forget. That's on me. But yes, I will do a better job of uploading it to Spotify and iTunes. And as a reminder, the podcast is on iTunes. So if you want to subscribe with your iPhone, or you still use an iPod, you can do that. Just go to iTunes. You have to search for the whole thing. I cannot figure out how to get tags to work, and I tried submitting a ticket to them, and they said I have to call them, and I was like, why do I have to call you on the phone? What year is it? It's very weird. So, yeah, if you search the Value Pack Podcast with a space in between each, you'll be able to find the show on iTunes, but it's also on Spotify, Castbox, and SoundCloud. So, a bunch of different ways to listen to it. The Misassin says maybe it's because new region is coming soon. That's why they buffing horse speed. And then Edit 1, Witcher 3 is the greatest way you make a game as well as treat customers. I have played almost all the side missions, and I have all Grandmaster Witcher gear for all schools. Do you feel like the Witcher 3 devs treated their customers well? Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, they did free DLC. That's pretty dope. They came out with like a really high quality game that's better than most companies. So I'd say yeah.
All right. Costumes, pets, fucking fairy rerolls being exclusively real money gambling, and this is the line, seems kinda weird. I think that's at you, talking about the tag thing.
Yeah, I suppose this is just like the most blatant. Like, I don't know. Like, again, to try and point out what I was trying to say last week, like, it's just the most obvious, in my opinion, of like anything they've ever done. Because it's literally 1 week, hey, here's the gear tagging system. we know there's an inconvenience. We'll deal with that later. And then the next week, hey, we fixed that inconvenience for you. Give us your money.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's so much more blatant and just feels so much more scumbaggy. But yeah, like any of those other things as well, you could use as a good example of what scumbag business practices look like.
Humanidai says, well, to be fair, Rezlar complained since Desert Costume release, he even made a video.
I did.
Filler Up Premium said, sorry I missed your comment, I came back. MP Pot, new house, everything is falling into place. It's true, dude. It's true. I also got the Shuriken Pot piece super fast, so I'm getting there. I'm 1/3 of the way through the HP pot. I just, yeah.
Some struggle never, people.
I'm also, the new move-in date is December 22nd, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't get changed. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Dust2 also said, yo, not having played The Witcher 3 is a disgrace. Rectify that shit ASAP. I don't know, man. Based on Cyberpunk, I probably shouldn't ever play anything by this developer. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I have a really hard time getting into single player games. That's the only thing.
I really think you'll enjoy it, honestly.
We'll see. Astra says, I love all the back and forth about BDO story. I personally enjoy it, and there are some funny, cute, and etc. dialogues. I just re-rolled to Tammy and am doing all the quest lines and reading them. Would be nice if the storytelling wasn't complete garbage, though. Keep up the great podcasts. P.S. Witcher 3 best game of all time. That was another thing that they did mention, that they're trying to do more like audio for the cutscenes in the story.
I actually, so you know how I did that stupid fucking swimming to goddamn Port Rat video?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was awful and took me like 3 hours or some shit. And then I did the taking a wagon from the event area, Termian event, to Arahaza.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever saw that one. That was the sequel. So there was going to be another sequel, a trequel, if you will, where I go through the entire Black Desert Online main story and read every piece of dialogue on my Shy. And I literally, there's a reason that video never came out, because I got 40 minutes in and I have never felt a stronger urge to blow my own brains out than 40 minutes deep into reading every single line of the Black Desert main storyline. And I gave up on that video idea immediately.
I mean, I'm with you, dude. It's too much. Like, I actually don't even think that the story is bad, even though I have no real knowledge on it, because the people that go through the whole thing say that it's fairly interesting and it's actually a pretty decent story and there's a lot of cool stuff to it, but it's just, I can't read that much dialogue. It's so long. Like, it's like a book. Like, it needs to be cinematics and cutscenes and stuff that just have talking.
And also, it's like, man, the other thing is that the lore seems so cool whenever people talk to me about it. Like, whenever I talk to people who know the lore and they're, like, talking about it, it seems so interesting. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think a big part of how they tell the story also has to do with, like, it's always just characters saying stuff at you, which is a big part of it. Like, I don't know, like, natural writing does not exist in this game. It's all just like exposition, and then you go to another NPC, exposition. It's just like, fuck, dude. It's so painful to read.
Garmoth in 4 minutes. Dancing Sword says, the officer chat is a great addition. Why base your game off what Discord can do? Not every officer wants to have to use Discord for shit like that. Officer here, this is so convenient. Yeah, Rezlar was just being a curmudgeon, dude. Lord X says, officer chat makes more sense for console players. On PC, you can alt-tab where we have to use another device.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. I always find it interesting how console. It's funny because it's like it feels so barbaric to play on console. Like it's so like they have so many like limitations. Like you don't have your chat app open. You literally have to have like your phone or a laptop near you while you're playing on your console. So you have Discord or voice chat or Twitch or whatever. It's kind of interesting.
How does Discord not have like a console like app thing that you can like run in the background? You know, how does that not exist?
Do they not? I don't know that they don't have that.
I've never heard of it, and I feel like I would have at some point if that existed. Discord, get on that. I gave you that idea for free. Next one's gonna cost you.
Yeah. Hattery Hanzo says still waiting for a tier list, bro.
Soon.
Yeah, dude, we have a new class.
We're gonna get to work
right after Hashashin comes out. We'll do it.
We're gonna get to work on We're gonna probably get to work on it after the 2-year anniversary, and once Nova comes out, I suppose. We're not gonna wait too long for Nova. The issue is we waited too long for Hash. We'll probably wait. Let's say, you know what? Let's set a date in stone right fucking now. Not a date, but a day. 2 weeks after the Awakening Succession comes out.
Yeah, 2
for
weeks.
Nova.
Within that 2 weeks, like the 2 weeks is the deadline for the release of the video.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. 2 weeks after Awakening Succession for Nova comes out, there will be a video if there isn't one already.
Yeah,
I'm setting a day right now. It's gonna happen. If we're gonna make it happen, it's gonna happen. Because we can't keep fucking doing this.
Zeagle says they actually made the single gear copy thing Pearl only. Now I'm mad. I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't feel how Reslar feels, but it is annoying. It's like, dude, seriously? Like, really? I don't know. It's just kind of wild to me. Really, really wild. Max Stilbo says, I'm really considering tagging a Tamer Awakening, but everyone says she's terrible at PvE. I also see some videos of Tamers pulling good trash loot numbers, so I'm kind of confused. By the way, I really enjoy the podcast. Tamer is tedious to grind in PvE, but it's still solid in PvE. It got enough buffs that it actually is relatively efficient at most grind spots. Sakrea, I think, is one of the places where it's really good because you don't have to rely on pulling, and Tamer isn't super good at pulling. It doesn't have a quality pull ability. It doesn't have any ranged abilities. You're basically using Whiplash near packs, and a lot of the time risk, because you're too close, you risk the pack actually just not, doing an attack before moving to you. So that's the issue with it. But it does enough damage. It's been buffed enough that it does enough damage. It's AoE. It's just you have to wait for the pulls to be precise, and then once the pulls are set up properly, like you actually do kill fairly quickly.
Alright, is this where you get your Garmoth heart? Like you did your Bells?
Dude, the trifecta, man. Fucking Karanda heart, Vel's heart, and Garmoth heart. Let's go. Back to back to back. Let's go. Let's go, Garmoth. I hope, dude. I hope. Let's see. Never Famous says, still play Diablo 2 time to time, and the season servers are still a thing. Actually, most of the player base plays ladder. Of course, ladder is ruined by bots, though. Why are there still bots on ladder in that game? Bots, you need to retire. What are you doing? Why are bots still playing Diablo 2? Oh my god. Ruined by bots, though, you'll be in 3 to 5k QQ just to make a game in ladder on Diablo 2. That's how many bots are running 24/7. None ladder is just all bots. Private duel games, basically you fight, or you might find pub duel games, but expect hackers running mods. Why? Why are people still in that game using bots and hacks? It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, that's fucking wild.
I mean, why do people use bots and hacks in the first place, man? It's weird.
In any game. But like, why a 20-year-old game? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're playing a 20-year-old game for nostalgia. Why are you in there hacking? It's weird. It's super, super weird. Razor Chicken says the officer chat thing was probably done by a new dev or intern, which just got a small job to get used to the underlying code of the company environment. I like that. Yeah, probably. This is just an intern like, hey, we're going to give you a small, meaningless task. Let's see if you can complete it. And if you can, we'll keep you around. Ian says, businesses not having an intention to charge you, it doesn't make sense. People trying add morals to business, most come out the loser. I think I get what he's saying. Like, if you basically, like, it is a business and you have to accept that it's a business, and if you try to add morals to it, you're the one that's just going to end up losing. I get the philosophy on it.
But business has to have some form of morality, or else people won't give you their business. So it's kind of a, like, I see what you're saying, but yeah, morality does matter to business, because the morality of the business itself will affect the business, because customers will decide not to shop there anymore if they feel that they are being disrespected, which is exactly what happened to BDO when they released the value pack, and then the costumes, and then yada yada yada. Basically, every time they introduce more pay-to-win shit, people leave. So yes, but also no.
Tim says, at Reslar, lo and behold, the refined Marnie fuel is pearl only. Totally agree about your penny pinching sentiment. It just seems so greedy that is probably the reason it was not announced. They knew people who aren't complete shills would recognize how insane it is. That feels like an insult at me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely hit it, which just shows how much they knew that what they were doing was scumbag. They knew enough that what they were doing was wrong that they tried to hide it. I mean, that's essentially what that is.
Travis7067 says, at an hour 7:33, Rezlar and Frosty's 2-year anniversary. Heart, also, I agree it won't, but why do you think BDO will never be an esport? I don't think, here's the thing. I don't even think that this is necessarily just a BDO thing, and I know WoW tried it, and it was just, WoW was so popular and so huge that it kind of worked a little bit, but dude, MMOs just, every MMO for some reason tries to make it an esport, and it's just, being an esport is very, very hard and a huge investment, and like, they almost need to come up naturally, like somewhat naturally. Like, StarCraft did not become an esport because it was the devs. Like, it became an esport because people started playing it competitively. Smash Brothers, same thing. Dota, same thing. Like, League piggybacked off of Dota and basically, no offense to Dota fans, but made a game that was more accessible and arguably better, and that's why it worked. But like, just designing it as an esport by design, like, a lot of the times just backfires. So I just don't think MMOs lend themselves to esports either. They just kind of don't.
The perfect example of forcing esports to me has always been Heroes of the Storm, because Heroes of the Storm had Blizzard money behind it. It also had, Blizzard, who has StarCraft, one of the most, if not the most successful competitive, like, esport in the world, except for maybe until, like, League of Legends came around, and then maybe Fortnite for a time. And then also, like you said, WoW. Like, they made WoW. I mean, I know WoW esport isn't, like, huge or anything. I don't know. Is it even still around?
These days it's small.
Right?
Like, they have, like, a competition at BlizzCon, but it's so small now. It's not.
Yeah. So, like, but still, like, you have a company that has the money to back up the things that they do, and they have the knowledge to do it right. And it still failed because they tried to, like, force it, and the game just didn't allow for a competitive scene to happen. So you just can't force it. It's got to happen naturally. I think this game will never have a competitive esport part to it because A, the player base is too small, and B, the balance is too whack.
I mean, I'm not on board with the balance thing, because the balance in all these esports is really, really bad a lot of the time, except for like Counter-Strike and stuff, where you're basically playing on the same things. But League balance is insanely wild.
But here's the thing: League has like 170 characters. So the fact that like fucking 30 of them are insane and 30 of them are unusable at any given point in time is irrelevant, because there's fucking 30 of them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but some of them are like No, I mean, I don't know. You literally see the same ones played all the time, and if you basically don't main some of these same ones, it's like it's rough. I don't know. I don't think balance is the reason. If it was supposed to be an esport, then obviously like balancing would have to be something that was more important and dire. Like right now, it's just an MMO, so the balance is less important and not really changed that much. I don't think balance is a reason. It literally is like I really think that an esport has to come up kind of naturally. That's really like, I feel really strongly about that. It has to happen organically. It can't be forced. Like even StarCraft, even StarCraft 2, like Blizzard forced it so hard, and like while it still kind of has a scene, it's nothing like what Brood War was. And when it was like at its peak, it was like for such a short time. It was for such a short time. Like Brood War, like literally happened under Blizzard. Like Blizzard had no idea that this was going on, and then it just like blew up. And then Blizzard got involved, and it was like, okay. And then once the Blizzard prize money ran out, then it just shrunk. So I don't know. I don't know.
So let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Do you not think that it is hard for a competitive like scene to grow naturally if the player base does not feel that the game is like well balanced?
I mean, I can only speak from my experience, but in like League, the player base doesn't feel it's balanced. In StarCraft Brood War, the player base always complained about balance. There was literally like 2 years of just domination of one race. So I don't think that is the only thing that dictates it. I think
that's
that
not
now
the only thing, but I think it's a factor.
I mean, it might be a factor, but it's just like people just think about balance so much now. Whereas, like, I don't know. I didn't get a heart.
Well, everyone's
No
an
trifecta.
Armchair game developer these days.
No trifecta. This game sucks. Dude, I didn't get anything. This is rough. I hate Garmoth.
I got some Blackstones and some gold bars.
People dwell. I don't know, man. I actually also think the thing is with balance is like, now that people know the word balance and they think about balance, like everyone talks about balance so much, and everyone's idea of what is or isn't balance is also insane. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know how much it affects it, but I really don't think an MMO could really be. It'd have to be like a fighting game with no gear progression and it'd have to be from scratch, like designed a fighting game and then naturally become an an esport.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to touch on next, is that progression is like a huge part of why I don't think it can be an esport. Because like progression, I feel like naturally says you can't really be like competitive because people are going to be on different levels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna be on different levels. And let's say if you're like some prodigy that's like gonna be the best in the world, are you really like, you have to spend half your time grinding instead of like actually practicing PvP? Seems kind of like people in Smash Brothers are not leveling up their Pikachu in their off days.
Yeah.
You know?
So then you might say, well, you can just do trial characters, and then I'm going to counter with no one's going to play a fucking esport with trial characters because they're goddamn awful. Moving on.
Yeah. If there was like a 1v1 ladder at the launch of BDO that had like equalized, then I could see maybe it have happened, but it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Sixon says, how cool would a 280 AP Asian themed grind zone with panda warriors be? Like the bamboo forest from the lawn teaser, which I think is around Port Rat.
Boy, do we have news for you.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 years, it sounds like something like that might be coming.
Yeah.
The new
Just
continent.
wait 2 years, man.
Although,
just 2 years of buying value pack, Merce palette, Camo Blessing, Old Moon Book, and whatever other shit they come out with.
Yeah, I don't know. The Muffin Muncher says, okay, so Guardian Grab isn't a suicide button, but even if you use Pre-Awaken Grab, which you should, dude. It has an annoying hop animation before you grab someone, giving them a chance to grab you first. As someone that does T2, 3, 4 Node Wars on EU, I just don't see that many suck whizzes in Node War and EU. It's more like Sork Ninja server, maybe because we only really have 1 to 2 real siege guilds. Everyone else uses 60 mercs. Not that anyone on EU would disagree, suck whiz is the most broken class this game has ever seen. The way PA does balance based on KD classes, maybe that's why they don't think it's OP. TLDR, Guardian Grab is trash, and PA won't nerf Wiz because it's an NA problem. Yeah, I disagree that Guardian's Grab is trash. I know as a Guardian you probably disagree. I also don't even agree that you should really be using the pre-awaken one. One of the better dueling Guardians, Amortat, like can't stand the pre-awaken grab and prefers the awakening grab for a bunch of reasons. One of the main ones being the bugginess of the pre-awaken grab that causes you to have do the entire grab animation when you miss, which is anyone who's ever played a grab class before knows how irritating that is. I don't know. The fact that the grab is super armored, yes, it's a slower grab and whatever. You have like so many other tools that you have like a pretty decent grab that's protected for the whole thing, plus the rest of your kit. So I just don't really understand like the complaining on it. It's kind of strange to me.
Yeah. Keep in mind that Guardian is basically super armored 100% of the time that you're fighting them. So, yeah, the fact that there's a little shuffle you have to do before you grab someone, don't care.
Triconex says, as for grabs, I'd say those should be minimum 10-second cooldowns with no protection before grab happens, but once you grab, it should be protected. Also, fuck warriors. They have such long arms when they do go for a grab, almost the same range as a lawn grab. Is warrior grab range the same as a lawn? I don't think so.
Nah, he's exaggerating.
It's got a little bit of range, but it's not lawn.
The only thing that's weird in terms of the range of grabs is that Valk has little T-Rex arms, and you have to be like so close to land the fucking Valk grab. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, like warrior gets the gap closed so quick. That's one of the things that makes their grab so strong. Like they're instantly on top of you if they want to be. It's Pride. This podcast, Rezlar's volume was a lot better, but yeah, my speaker isn't the best. Didn't mean any harm, just thought it was funny because the volume would be good. Then Rezlar gets so excited and energetic. Haha, guess I'll ask Santa for a premium speaker just for the podcast. No, I didn't mean to imply your speakers are trash, which they are, but if you have no lows or low frequencies, Rezlar's voice is probably going to come through a little bit louder. I turned him down a little bit more. And I'm hoping one day, maybe I gotta buy Rezlar an arm stand for his mic for Christmas so he could put it in front of his mouth so it doesn't deflect off his desk. We'll see. Bad Wizard says, finally managed to catch you guys live for the Calpheon ball. Great stream. Thanks for clarifying what you meant by real girl with that drawing, Frosty. What a slim figure she had. I wanted to make Nova for the season char, but I'm out if you can't customize her appearance. Keep up the awesome work, boys. Wait, why wouldn't you be able to customize her appearance?
I think he's saying that because it's supposed to be like
a
the character. Yeah.
No, there's no way they wouldn't let you customize.
I think they're gonna let you customize your character because the thing is that the character isn't. The character is the spirit that was locked within the shield that entered the nun in the cinematic, right?
Right.
So it's not that your body is actually going to be some rando NPC's body, but it's basically like the spirit has overtaken the body, right? So you're still going to be able to customize your character, almost definitely.
I'm going to ignore what Musassin just said in chat because it was so absurd. Ha Wyman says, Stratified on the podcast when? Dude, I'd actually love to have him on the podcast. He's a super cool dude. Silver Zico says, they need to tell us if they're not going to nerf Suck Wiz so we can all just make one and be equals. I agree. I would love a grand announcement where they're like, listen, guys, we've heard your feedback. We're not going to do anything about it. If you want to be this powerful, just play the class.
Dude, I talked about this when I was streaming before we started. Imagine how different of a conversation we'd be having today if they had actually come on stage and just said, like, we do have plans on nerfing Suck Wizard. Like just that, and like you don't even have to elaborate. Just we know a lot of you think Succession Wizard is a problem, and we're looking into ways to fix it. Just like that.
This is for those who missed it. The drawing of the new class.
Oh no!
I drew it myself.
We also learned during the Calpheon ball. We also learned that Frosty is, I think, misogynistic. It has very strict definitions for what a real, quote unquote, real woman is. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Feel bad for that cosplaying girl.
Musassin,
That had the lawn outfit.
We all feel that way about Meteor. Trust me, you're not alone. No. So that was the internet trying to take me out of context. I was saying that the lawn outfit would be attractive on a girl in real life, and someone tried to take that and turn me into a monster.
No, you specifically said real girl. That would look so good on like a real girl.
All right,
And
I did not have that. I did not have that tone of that would look so good, like all creepy. Stop. All right, we're changing this is over. This conversation's over.
That's how I remember it, dude. You don't remember it. You were drunk.
I was buzzed. All right, that's it. The show's over. We are done. That's all the comments. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Please remember, we are doing an anniversary podcast next week. It's important. We want everybody there. We want anyone who's ever joined us for a live podcast to join us. Anyone who's been there for community nights to join us. If we have had you on the show and you are hearing this and you have not heard from us, reach out to us. We would love to have anyone who's been on the show before, any guests, come on at least for a little while to stop by and say hi, talk about your year in BDO, all that sort of stuff. I think it'd be really, really fun.
Just hang out for fucking like 15, 20 minutes, you know? Or hang out for the whole fucking thing. I don't care.
And that's all. You wanna also, did you go over did you thank the patrons at the start?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Well, thank you again, patrons, for anyone supporting us. The people on the Patreon are fucking awesome. We appreciate your guys' support. Does not go unnoticed. So thank you guys a lot. That stuff means a lot to us because you guys going out of your way is really, really cool.
I know I mention it every show, but I don't really talk about it that much. If you want to support us, you can obviously support our individual streams. You're probably either listening to this live, but if you're watching this live, you're obviously watching it on Frosty's Twitch channel. So obviously you can support our individual streams. If you want to just support the show as a whole, you can go to Patreon. The link is in the description of wherever you're watching this, on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever. I'm assuming you have descriptions there as well, Frosty.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's my name on it, but it goes to all of us. We split it up. And if you wanna support just the show in general, that's the best place to do it. Obviously, if you want to support us as individuals, you can go to each of our streams, twitch.tv/SoFrosty, not Reslar, and Nashi's is Nayashi_NA. And you can get certain rewards for doing the Patreon. I think it's $5 to get your name at the bottom left. That's what those names are. So if you do $5, you get your name on the bottom left. $10 is the shout out that we do at the beginning of every show. So yeah. Thanks to everybody who supports us on Patreon, whether you're $10 or $1 or whatever. We appreciate it a lot. Shout out to Nayashi. Hopefully you're feeling better, brother. I'm guessing he's not feeling that much better, considering he never made it to the show. So hopefully he feels better soon. Like Frosty said, if you've been on the show before as a guest and you haven't heard from us, get in contact with us. We're trying to make next week special because it's our 2-year anniversary. Hopefully you guys look out for it. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you next week for the 2-year anniversary.